Liam is a co-founder of KiwiRivals alongside Pope NZL, and he is also the founder of Streamin NZ. KiwiRivals is a recurring event for New Zealand content creators to come together and go head-to-head playing a game chosen for those events. And Streamin NZ is a community for New Zealand streamers to hang out. I've always had a lot of respect and admiration for people that can start initiatives and be successful at doing so. And Liam and his team are crushing it. So I feel really lucky for the opportunity to have Liam on my podcast and have a long form conversation like I always do. And I had the most fascinating conversation with Liam. To me as a viewer, I'm like, how the hell do you even start something like that? Where do you even start? You want to set up KiwiRivals. How did the idea come from? What's the origin story of KiwiRivals? What's the origin story of Streamin NZ? What are the joys? What are the difficulties? What actually goes into organizing events like that? And as a viewer, I had no idea. And it's really interesting hearing about his perspectives and why he started it and how he's doing and what he's hoping for the future. And yeah, now I think it's really cool. And what I liked the most about it was that Liam's primary motivation is just to bring people together, having something like this kind of event in New Zealand, and just giving platform to these talented and cool New Zealand local streamers and content creators. I love that his motivation comes from this genuine, positive place. And hearing Liam's passion in his words was inspiring to me in many ways. So, thank you, Liam, for the conversation. I appreciate it very much. Thank you for those of you who are listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you also. This is Everything Goes podcast. I hope you enjoy my conversation with Liam Johnson, a co-founder of KiwiRivals and the founder of Streamin NZ. Yeah, so you were saying you used to do a bit of podcasting.
Yeah. So, we called ourselves like the virtual table. Okay. So we would talk about video games, up and coming video games. We'd talk about like pop culture, anime, all that other kind of stuff. So that was one thing that we did. And it was quite cool. Like we did it like every week. Yeah, every week on either like the weekend or it would be like a Friday. So it would be like myself, AF Corey, who's like an Australian streamer, Helltown, and Kawaii Galaxy, who lives in the States. So it was fun, but it was quite challenging to do like the different time zones for like everyone.
For sure, every week too. Yeah. That's big commitment.
It is. It really is. And it was quite fun because there was a lot of thought and a lot of energy and passion put into it, and just the whole production side of things as well was quite cool, and just seeing it kind of evolve as well, which was pretty cool.
So did you guys talk about new games being released? And
yeah, so it was new games that was up and coming, or video games that we enjoyed, and then anime that we enjoyed or we didn't, and it was very, very cool, especially with the pop culture and everything else is just always shifting and changing. So yeah, we'd always talk about that. So it was pretty cool.
Did you prepare much?
Oh, there was a lot of preparation into it. After the podcast would finish, we'd talk about ideas for the next one. Yeah. And then we would just go on the biggest research. We would jolt down notes. We would do everything. It was crazy. So we would always try to keep on top of everything.
You were quite serious then.
Yeah, it was a very fun thing for me to do. Especially, if you're surrounded by people that have the same passion and ideas as it, and it's they it was very fun. Just kind of sharing ideas and notes and leading up to it, it's like, yeah, let's do this. Everyone teed in. So it was pretty cool.
So what happened?
It just kind of got a little bit too much. Like after, I'd say, how long did we do it? Like through 2 months, I think, of continuous things. It was just like, it kind of dulled down to like myself and my other streamer friend Corey. We were like, man, this is like becoming way too much. Like it's just too hectic at the moment, like because obviously my full-time job, trying to rearrange like streaming time because we all streamed as well, so just trying to figure out just a way to kind of fit everything in without compromising anything was very hard. So we decided to pull the pin, but me and him have kind of gone back and forth now, to be like, okay, like it was fun, like we started to get like some good listeners out there, some good listens, so I think we should kind of pick it up again. So we've kind of gone back and forth, and just to be like, okay, sweet, like let's do this again.
So this was last year?
This was last year, early last year. Yeah, so we're starting to throw around some ideas again.
Yeah. Oh, I hope you guys come back.
Yeah, like it was very fun. And I'm the type of person that would take on like any project as well. So I'm always like fiending for something new to do. Yeah.
But I think it's a struggle for people like us to pick up projects on top of full-time job.
It is. It really is. Like for myself, like I do KiwiRivals, and outside of my full-time job, it's just more or less focused on that. So I don't really stream anymore because after work I get home and then you kind of have to be like, okay, sweet, you have to have a shower and kind of prep yourself up and then be all energetic in front of a camera after you've had like a 10-11 hour work day. And it's like, okay, like I can stream for 3 hours, like let's do this. And then then kind of KiwiRivals came into play, and like it's kind of like a full-time job outside of your full-time job. I'm doing like emails and talking and ideas and stuff while I'm at work, which is like a big like can't really do that, but I have to. So it's like, oh my God. So it's very hard. It's very hard. But if it's a passion and hobby that you really enjoy, it's like you kind of have to like grit your teeth into it and just hold on to it.
How did KiwiRivals start?
It started with like Pope wanted to do his own, like it was called like Pope Rivals. So he wanted to do that. And I think it was with like, like Uncle Jack, Uncle Turks, Carvey himself. And something happened and it all kind of like didn't happen. So in the back of my mind, I was doing like Streamin NZ, which is like a big like content creator streamer community on Discord and Instagram and stuff. And it's where content creators and streamers from all around Aotearoa like come in and kind of communicate with each other, give each other like tips and tricks or collaborate and just kind of get to know one another around New Zealand in that scene.
And you started that? Right?
I started that, yeah. And then I saw Pope do Pope Rivals and I was like, man, I've done a couple of like RL meetups with like heaps of streamers and all that stuff. And I was like, man, I want to branch out and try to do something a little bit different. I want to do a gaming event. So I hit up Pope and I was like, bro, like you keen to collaborate and do something like Twitch Rivals, but for New Zealand. He instantly replied back saying, bro, like super keen for it. So we just kind of went back and forth for about, I'd say about 3 months of, 2 months, I would say, just back and forth, like non-stop messaging, like ideas and all this other stuff, like where we're going to host it, how we're going to do it, how we're going to kind of get everyone together and all that other kind of stuff. And then for myself, like I messaged, like emailed and phone called every internet cafe in Auckland, like emailed, phone called, everything. And then they wanted me to pay for the usage of how many computers that we were going to come up with. And each event, we normally have like 5 to 10 competitors play. If not, there'll be like 20. So I like KiwiRivals 2, there was 17 creators. And I was like, nah, like, I can't really afford to pay like for 5 to close to 15 computers at an internet cafe. How are we going to live stream it if we even are allowed to live stream it there? And I was just kind of losing a bit of hope at this stage. I was like, man, I really want to do something like this for New Zealand. And then I was just like, oh, you know what? Like, I'm just going to email Esports New Zealand. Because I saw a recent post that they were training at Playtech. So I emailed these guys. I emailed Esports New Zealand, and I was like, "Oh, yo, like, have you guys got like a center or like a gaming center that we can use to host like a New Zealand's first KiwiRivals event for content creators?" And they emailed back like, "Oh, you know, we haven't got a venue or anything that you can use, but here's a list of people that you can email." With the idea that you have and see what happens.
That's pretty nice of them.
Yeah, it blew me away. I wasn't even expecting an email back. And yeah, along with the list, there was like Red Bull, there was Playtech, there was NZMA, which is like the Polytechnic Institute, and then there was like a few others. And then I messaged Pope and I was like, bro, like, which one do you want to try and go for? And he was like, just email and just see who you get back, and whoever replies first, just go with them. So, okay, sweet. So I emailed all of them. The first people to get back was Playtech. So they emailed within like half an hour, which I was completely mind blown about. So I was talking to Paul, and so he emailed back saying, you know, this sounds like a cool idea. I'll CC in Greg, which is like the marketing manager for Playtech, and you guys can just kind of go back and forth from there. Emailed him, and then like, yeah, the rest is kind of history from there. Greg loved the idea, he loved the vision, and then I messaged Gamer Fuel New Zealand, messaged those guys, and they were like, yeah, like, we love the idea, we're pretty keen to help you out and back you up. So those two, Playtech and Gamer Fuel, were like the first people to actually believe in what we're trying to do. So very humbled for those guys, and like just all around now, like it's pretty crazy.
And when was that? Was it last year?
That was last year. Oh no, this year. Sorry. So this year. So everything that has happened in regards to KiwiRivals 1, 2, and 3 happened this year, but all the planning happened late last year. So around January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. It happened around September, October.
That's when you messaged Pope.
That's when I messaged Pope. Yeah. So that's when that happened. And then, a couple of months went by. Then obviously Christmas. And then we went into KiwiRivals. Yeah. So everything happened pretty quick.
It's pretty quick.
Pretty quick. Yeah. Yeah. And just trying to find, you know, the content creators to kind of bring in for the first one was very hard. Like, it was very hard because there's so many talented people out there. And then KiwiRivals 2 happened, and that's when we opened up the registration form. And then, it's pretty much the rest is history from there. So,
man, I can't even imagine what it's like starting off something like that. I think for me, just from an outsider point of view, the first event would be the hardest, right?
It is
to get people.
Yeah, it's to get people. It's to pick people as well is very hard, and it's very daunting as well, especially if you're doing something. That's the first thing to happen in New Zealand, right? And it's like, man, like how, like it's very daunting. It's very scary. And we have, you know, for the first event, we had like Ray-Binator, we had Cat City, we had Twisted Little Red, we had, oh man, they're gonna kill me if I forgot all the names. Pope NZL, sorry. And it was like, man, like these guys are like, they're like up and coming streamers, you know, they're averaging like 20 to 30 views per stream. And it's like, man, like if we run this event and we only get like 20 people tuning in, like we're going to have to do some like big damage control for these guys, you know? So it's like very daunting. It's very stressful. Me and Pope were kind of going back and forth. We're like, bro, like, fuck, like, what happens if I fail? Like, what happens if we fail and do this wrong and all this other stuff? But Pope is very good. Like, he's a very, like, chill when it comes to high stress. Like, he's very good at controlling his stress levels. For me, on the other hand, man, like, I'm just starting to lose it, eh? Like, I'm starting to lose it. And it was pretty crazy. Like, when we first started to promote KiwiRivals 1, we had some very big positive feedback, but then we also had some negative ones. And it's always the negative ones that stick out the most.
So that was after the first one?
That was while we were promoting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where were the feedbacks coming from?
It was just from people that weren't invited, that didn't know what this was about, all this other kind of stuff.
So the other streamers then, right?
It was other content creators and streamers, and it was like, guys, like you will have your shot. This is just the first event that we're doing. Like, just please hang tight. Like, we want to do this. And yeah, it's always the negative ones that stick out the most.
What
like
the negative feedbacks?
It was like, how come I wasn't invited? You know, I'm a bigger streamer than these guys. Blah 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 blah. And it was like, man, like we're gonna invite everyone. Like, we want to, but this is our first baby event. You know, we want to do something like in the future, 100%. But this is our first event. Like, we hand selected these people to come along. And yeah, it was very hard at the time, like just dealing with all the stress and everything. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah. And how did it go?
It went better than I expected.
Yeah.
It went way better than I expected. You know, we had Ray in the City come host for us, and I've got so much respect for him because he just knows how to talk just straight away and knows what to say and how to communicate with the chat and everything else. So big ups to Ray in the City. And, you know, every other content creator that was there as well, it just blew my expectations out of the water. I was like, oh my God, like this could, like, I'm so stoked. Because I think we were averaging like 250 views, I think, for our first event.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, like this is crazy. This is crazy. Like, damn, there's definitely like a potential here for New Zealand to host this type of event.
First event too.
First event. Yeah. And I was like completely mind blown. Me and Pope were like, what the hell? Like, oh my God. And then we looked at the analytics after the event, like the next day. And, you know, like the number one support was like New Zealand. And we're like, that's what we wanted. Like, we wanted New Zealand viewers. And then right after that was like America, then Australia, then Germany, then England. And I was like, dude, like, this is crazy. Like, we're repping pretty hard for these guys.
Yeah.
Like, it's really cool. And yeah, like the first event was just amazing. You know, just seeing a be born into the space now is pretty crazy.
Especially after, like you say, you were pretty nervous about like what.
Hugely nervous. Like 20 minutes before we went live, I was outside, just smacking back my vape, and like I felt like I was gonna throw up. Like, me and Poe were just outside, bro. We were like, oh fuck! Like, I'm so nervous, man. Like,
is it the views that you were nervous about?
It was. It definitely was, because, you know, like, yeah, you have Ray in the City, you have Cat City, you have Ray Beneda, Plain Sunday. That's the other one that I forgot. Sorry. And you have all these big up and coming streamers, and it's like, fuck. If we pull in 10 views, like, how are we going to explain this? Like, oh my God. But then we racked in 250. So I was like, oh my God, like, crazy. Yeah. So I was pretty stoked about that after the first event.
What was like your reasonable expectation?
Reasonable, I would have been happy with 50 to 60. I would have been happy with that. I would have been like, sweet, our first event. Myself and Pope, like, we've never run a gaming event or a rivals event before. Like, none of us have. And the people that we've brought in to help us, like, they haven't done anything like that either. So we had no idea what we were doing at that point. And we were like, man, like, if it fails, it fails. Like, we just come back and kind of work with what we've got and just kind of keep pushing it. And then, yeah, that was my reasonable expectation. It was like, 50 to 60 viewers I would have been happy with, but it blew past that.
3 digits.
Yeah, blew my mind. So I was like super stoked about it.
3 digits. What do you think was the success factor?
It's just something different in New Zealand, you know, like, we have so many talented creators and content creators and streamers in New Zealand, and you just don't see anything like that besides, you know, the overseas ones, like, you know, what are the overseas? Twitch Rivals, you know, and you have to be, you know, the biggest streamer on the planet to even be considered to be inviting to that. And you see all these other streaming events that big YouTubers and Twitch streamers are hosting, and it's like, man, like, it's so sad because we've got so many talented streamers and content creators here in New Zealand. Like, how do we do something like that for them here? So I think it was just the uniqueness of it here.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think even with is it Streamin NZ?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even with that, before that, was there any kind of community that the streamers can get together in New Zealand at all?
Yeah, there's quite a few. There's quite a few.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess like it's kind of each to their own on people, on what community to join and what other communities are offering and all this other kind of stuff. Like when I created Streamin NZ, I DM'd, like I personally messaged like every streamer that was in Auckland. So I messaged Cat City, Alison, Zombieland, Jerry Fat Stacks. I messaged like everyone that I knew that was a Twitch streamer in New Zealand. And I just wanted to like catch up with them and just hang out with them and just have a drink, like just have a beer and just be like, sweet, you know, let's talk streaming. Like what, you know, blah, 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 blah.
So that was your pitch to them?
That was my pitch.
Yeah.
That was my pitch. And I didn't expect, like, I was like, because I messaged, I think, 10 people and they were like, yeah, sweet, sounds fun. Like, I would be keen to meet up with other streamers in Auckland. Like, I haven't done that. So I was like, okay, man. And then they invited streamers that they knew, and then the streamers that they knew invited, and it was like a domino effect from there. And I think I had to host an event for like 25 people, I think. Yeah. And I had to book like a venue at Archie Brothers, and we just chilled out and had drinks and played games and talked streams and collaborations, and it was like a big network night. And then from there, I created the Discord with just the people that I invited. And I was like, sweet, you know, this is going to be like we could do this like a regular thing. And then they invited people that they knew that were streamers, and then it just blew up. Like the Discord blew up within like 3 days. And I was like, holy hell, like I need help to run this thing. Like this is crazy.
Moderator.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. And that's what Streamin NZ is about. Like it's about, networking and just making friends, like IRL friends. And that's like important, you know. You got to have friends that have got the same hobbies and interests, and because it like hypes you up to do better and go harder and all that other stuff. And it's just quite cool to see friendships grow and all that stuff. And it's
so much more fun when you try working on something with a friend.
It's huge. It's
so
hugely fun
because it's not, as you know, like when you're growing something, it's not always fun times.
No, exactly. And if you're surrounded by people that haven't, you know, that are always negative and, you know, that don't kind of have your back, or they kind of put you down on your ideas and what you want to do with your life and all this other kind of stuff, it kind of brings you down a bit. And it's like, man, like whatever. And then, but if you surround yourself with the same mindset of other people, you're the same hobbies and interests and stuff, and they're like, yeah, like you can do that, like go nuts. And they try to give you advice and be like, instead of doing that, how about this? And then you just kind of grow with each other, and it's quite cool.
I think the Streamin NZ community growing so fast, you know, even within days. I think that shows that it was much needed.
Yeah, like I've had a lot of people like thank me and stuff, and for me, like I'm just the guy that's created or just had the idea of it. Like all the work kind of goes with, you know, my moderators, you know, like Dylan, he's our Discord moderator, so he keeps our Discord looking fresh and all this other kind of stuff. And just everyone that's kind of helped me kind of grow it is like the people that deserve it. Like I'm just the guy that had the idea, you know. It's like it's crazy. And yeah, it's been a crazy like year, almost a year and a half for it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, since Streamin NZ, because when you started Streamin NZ, I'm guessing you've already been streaming at that time. Yeah. So I was streaming for about like 8 months. 8 months, I think. I started streaming, and then because I was like posting on like Instagram, I was like, yeah, sweet, you know, Twitch New Zealand. And then I would click on that hashtag and be like, okay, who else is streaming New Zealand? Sure. And then I just kind of followed heaps of streamers around New Zealand. And then I was like, a couple of these people are from Auckland. I want to go have a drink with them. And then it just kind of went from there. Without sounding like too creepy, but I mean, I've done similar thing because I've been wanting to connect with other podcasters in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And one of the things I did was I followed NZ podcast.
Yeah.
And I've met a couple of people.
Yeah.
But there isn't really
like a something Streamin NZ equivalent for a podcast.
Right. Yeah.
And that's I think a community that like a gap I've identified.
Yeah.
So like it's really cool that you initiated something like that.
Yeah, I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
I just wanted to have a couple of drinks with some people that were streaming, and I was streaming, so I was like, okay, let's do this. And then I didn't mean to create it, but now it's flourished and kind of made its way into its thing, what it is now. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about it.
I think it's the best way because it shows that you didn't have any other intention behind it.
No, I literally didn't. I just wanted to make some friends that were streaming. Like that was it. Like I had no other intention of making this thing like what it is now. I just wanted a drink, and it just kind of blew up to what it is now.
Was it daunting? Because like you were saying, you haven't really done anything like it before. Like
it wasn't like, I wouldn't say it wasn't daunting. I was nervous about messaging all these people, but it wasn't daunting. Like because I was only inviting. Initially, I only invited like 5 to 10 people.
And have you talked to them before?
No.
Yeah.
No.
First time.
Yeah. First time.
Cold emailing.
Yeah. So first time I slid into these guys' DMs and I was like, you guys keen to catch up and have a drink and just hang out and talk about streaming and just kind of network from there. And they were like, yeah, sounds fun. And then it just went from there. So it was pretty crazy.
How about with fast forwarding to KiwiRivals? When you had that idea, were you like, where do I even start?
Yeah, 100%. Like, when I was like, I want to do a gaming event, and I saw Pope try to do his Pope Rivals, and I was like, you know what, I think Pope would be the wicked one to take on because it looks like he knows what he's doing. Boom, messaged him, and it was very scary, and I didn't even know where to start. I literally didn't. I was like, okay, what's the one essential thing you got to have for a gaming tournament? The venue. Like, you got to have like 10 PCs. Okay, like where do I find 10 PCs? Internet cafes. Then it just went from there. Yeah. So it's very daunting having an idea and trying to execute it with no available resources.
Yeah.
It's essentially, we were just talking a dream, and me and him had the same passion, the same idea, and we were like, nah, let's turn this dream into a reality. Let's do this. Yeah. And now it's kind of flourished into something that people, streamers, content creators, and the general public can enjoy. So I'm quite stoked about it.
How come you didn't participate in the first one? What's the story?
I don't know. Like I'm more happy to deal with the back end type of stuff. Like, I don't like being in front of the camera anymore. Like I don't know why. I would just rather people enjoy what I've put X amount of hours and time and days and months into. And I'm more of that type of person. Like I'd rather just sit at the back and deal with everything at the back end type things. Yeah, 100%.
What's changed? Because you started streaming.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. So it happened when I think like the second COVID lockdown, and me and my very close group of mates, we were just having like the most randomest yarns on like Discord and playing games and stuff. And I was like, you know what? I think we should start streaming. I think we're funny. And then I think we're funny, personally. And then, just started streaming. I had no face cam, and, people enjoyed it.
So it was a group of you.
Yeah, it was just
together.
A group of us.
Yeah.
It was just me and like 3 other good like primary school mates.
So no face cam.
No face cam, just voices and video game.
Yeah.
Like that was it. And I saved up enough money to buy my first face cam when I reached affiliate. And I was like, sweet, I'll start face camming.
Awesome.
Face cammed, and I just kind of went on for that. But I think me, like not giving up, but stopped streaming for about 6 months. Like, as I've just kind of been like, oh, nah, I don't really want to be in front of the camera anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
just all of a sudden?
Just all of a sudden. I don't know why. It's just a feeling that I get now, you know, like I want to get back into it. I really do. But yet again, it's just trying to find the time and the energy and just to not look defeated on camera.
Is it the camera itself, or is it putting yourself out there?
It's putting myself out there, like my face and my name out there. I'm just a little bit nervous about. I don't know why. Like I really don't know why, but I guess it's that factor into it. I don't know why, but
that's strange how it clicked like they switched like that. You know?
Yeah, like same here. I guess like because I got when I was streaming like every day when I first started streaming, it just kind of felt natural. But since I gave it up for like 4 or 5 months, and I'm like, oh man, like do I want to stream with my face on now? Like, damn, what do I do? I don't know why, but yeah, something just switched on, and I was like, nah.
You could do like the dream approach.
I could.
You know?
Yeah. I was thinking about like doing like VTubing, and then I found out how much it costs to make those avatars.
Really?
And
How
I was
much?
like, I got told like the cheapest one you could probably go for is like $700. And I was,
it's one-time investment, right? Is it? I don't know.
So that's the cheapest one. Like I got told was 700.
Yeah.
And it's just like a little JPEG type deal. But you can go up to like $3,000, I think, and that's with the whole like motion and mouth closing, eyes closing, and it moves with you type thing. So there's a lot of money that gets pumped into VTubing, and I was like, that's probably not for me then. Like I don't want to drop like $700 like for me to, I don't know, not go full time, I guess is
true.
Yeah. Like if I was gonna go full time, maybe, but nah. Like I don't see myself going full time streamer. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't, because what would be if you were to go full time away from your current full time job? What do you see yourself in?
I would love to do KiwiRivals full time.
Yeah,
100%.
Back end.
Yeah, back end things. You know, I would love to do that. Like just the whole planning, organizing, the meetings, the ideas that get thrown around, choosing what to pick, like what content creators are going to be best fit for that, or you know, all that stuff. I really enjoy it. I really, really enjoy it. And you know, I was talking to my dad about it, and he was like, "Yeah, you seem very interested and happy on what you're doing, even though it's like emotionally and exhausting.
Yeah,
you know, it looks like you're having fun." And then he said, like, if you have fun doing like a hobby and all this other kind of stuff for free, I think that's something that you're supposed to do. Like it's meant for you. And I was like, okay, yeah, I could probably see that. And then now I actually enjoy it. I really, really enjoy doing KiwiRivals. And I want to do full time in it. Just constant planning, organizing, hosting, all that stuff. Like I really enjoy it.
What's your best favorite part?
The best favorite part is seeing all the content creators in one room just having fun. You know, if it's joking around or, you know, just talking. I don't know if I can swear on this, but like,
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay. if it's like talking shit to each other, all that other kind of stuff, just having an all around blast is like the best feeling. Like it's the best reward that you can have. It's like, sweet, you know, my job is done now.
Yeah,
like everyone's having a blast, everyone's vibing. It's a good night, and then that's it. Like
the last one happened like 3 weeks ago, 4 months ago.
Yeah,
that seemed like the vibe that you were describing.
Yeah, and just having, because it was our last event for the year, and we wanted to do something special, and you know, we had so many great creators, you know, all around from New Zealand, like either taking the bus up, flying up, driving, everything. Like these guys wanted to come along, and them just having an all-round good time was just the best feeling. You know, just communicating with each other, talking with each other, all that kind of stuff. Like it looked like they made friends, and I was like, sweet, like it's done. Like everyone's comfortable with each other. There's no bad blood or anything. It's just all fun, friendly competition. And I was like, sweet. tick.
That's as good as it gets.
Yeah.
I met some of them in Armageddon.
Oh, okay, nice.
When
nice.
we met.
Yeah,
and
nice.
they're all really nice. They're
Yeah.
so friendly and they're really nice.
Yeah, it's very cool to see like that type of like people stream and content create. It's very humble, very nice, and it's like, yeah, it's amazing. It's a good feeling. And for them to all come together in one spot for like 3 or 4 hours and just having a blast doing it is, that's my reward for it. It's
Yeah,
like, sweet.
for sure.
Yeah.
Is there what's the community like in streaming in general? Because I know in podcast community, I don't know about in New Zealand because there isn't one really, but I know in overseas it's kind of generally accepted as like very like yes and space. You know, there's not really a competition. You know, you're stealing my viewers from my podcast.
Yeah.
But with streaming, I feel like just the nature of it, you can kind of mainly tune into one and not the other.
It's I guess it's kind of who you make friends with. Like, because on streaming you can, like on Twitch you can raid other people's channels and stuff, and you can bring your viewers over to them, and you know, it's all about like growing and networking. I know that some streamers don't like doing that. But the streamers that I know through Streamin NZ and stuff, they like to help people out. You know, they want to see people succeed and branch and grow and get brand deals and all this other stuff. And it's very cool. But yet again, there are some other streamers that are like, no, you're stealing my ideas. You're stealing my viewers. What are you doing? Like, come up with your own idea. And it's pretty sad, but the majority of the overwhelmingly positive streamers that you can meet is incredible.
Yeah, that's good to hear. You know, as content creators, I feel like, you know, you grow in the long term at least overall so much more when you collaborate with other people.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, it's collaboration and networking is the best way, I reckon, to kind of get your name out there and just kind of do what you enjoy. And you're finding people that are doing the exact same thing as what you're doing. So why not collaborate? Why not come up with cool ideas for a stream or collaborate on a stream together and all this other stuff? It's a bit of a no-brainer.
So much more fun. Like, I'm so glad I got to meet the Handy Hippos.
Yeah.
It's just so much more fun. Like, they've obviously been on my podcast.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, I've been a big fan of them anyway. So it was so much fun. And even just like kind of working towards things together. And because they obviously do podcasting, you know, we have similar kind of interests as well as like kind of issues that we go through.
Yeah.
And recently there was the entry for the New Zealand Podcast Award.
I did see something like that you posted on your story.
Yeah. So I entered that. So, you know, if you're watching this, give me a bit of a vote.
Yeah, vote for him, guys. Come on.
Please. Please. So you can vote for like Listeners' Choice Awards.
Cool.
Yeah. So for that one, I thought, okay, I'll enter in and I'll share something so that if people want to vote, they can vote for me and they're aware. But at the same time, I was like kind of similar to what you thought, I guess, Liam, like with this Kiwi, like New Zealand podcasts, a lot of I think there are a lot of good New Zealand podcasts.
Oh, there is. There's tremendous amount of talent in New Zealand. It's just so hidden, which is crazy.
Exactly. That needs just an exposure to people to, you know, to follow it.
Yeah.
And one of the good examples is the Handy Hippos, I think, you know.
Yeah.
I've listened to it so many times back to back, like all the catalogs there is.
Yeah, it does.
And it deserves so much more following, in my opinion, right? So I was like, okay, let me be the first one to get out there, and I threw out some names.
Nice.
That I think is a really cool New Zealand podcast. And I think, and each of them, they all kind of responded back to me.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I feel like there's like like at least at that time, very temporary community going on, you know? Like,
oh, dude, you could be onto something. You could start your own like podcast community. You know, just inviting anyone that does podcasting in New Zealand, and then they can give out tips or tricks or invite each other on each other's podcasts.
That would be the dream.
Yeah, you just never know. So you could be onto something at this point.
I hope so, because me and Shane talked about this too. Like, I think it's definitely a missing piece in the puzzle, in our opinion. There is a podcasting summit where me and Shane met, but it's mainly catered towards like the industry podcaster.
Oh, okay.
So indie podcasters not so much. Yeah. Because me and Shane were very few two people that were doing indie podcasts.
Okay.
So yeah, no, I think something like Streamin NZ equivalent to podcast would be
cool. That would be you could be the first stepping stone to it.
Could be. But I think, like you were saying before, it's like taking on another.
It's taking on another project. Yeah,
that's gonna consume time. I'm doing this podcast thing.
Yeah, it takes a lot of it does take a lot of time. But since Streamin NZ now, and I've got the most amazing help that I can ever like dream of. It's kind of self-sufficient now. So could get to that stage. So you just never know.
That's the dream. That's
the
dream.
It is. But it is a big project to start with.
Yeah.
But the reward is so worth it right at the end of it.
How far are you from doing KiwiRival full time?
Oh man. So I spoke to Greg about this when we first when me and Pope went in for our first meeting with Playtech to it was basically like a sales pitch to be like, this is our dream, this is our idea, like we want to do this. And he was like, okay, so what's your guys' end goal? And I was like, I want to do full-time KiwiRivals. I want to do this. Like this is I want to do this. And Greg was like, okay, I could 100% back you on that, but it will take you, I'd say, a good solid 4 to 5 years before you actually kick off and actually you can go full time. And I was like, okay, sweet. But that didn't stop me. I still want to push this. I still want to go hard on it because it's something that people can enjoy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, let's hang on to it. So I'd say another 4 years. I could probably go full time, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you in like a good projection for that?
Yeah, I guess it's just trying to land the right sponsors that can have your back. The right sponsors that have the same vision, the same ideas, the same, they just believe in the dream. Just finding the right ones for that. Then from there, then we can actually start to grow and do like live shows, like live shows. So while we stream it on Twitch, people can still buy tickets to come watch their favorite content creators fight, like go hard on each other on video games. So it's like, okay, we're trying to do that.
Because that's what Twitch Rival does it at.
Twitch Rivals does that, yeah. So they hire out this big venue and they have like all the biggest creators turn up and they just pretty much play each other on games.
Yeah.
That's it. And we want to do that for New Zealand here.
Yeah. They'll be amazing. They'll be really fun.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Oh, same. Like I would absolutely froth over it if I saw, if I saw Uncle Jack versus Uncle Tix versus Carvey versus Prawlin versus all the big streamers and content creators in New Zealand. It's like seeing all of them verse each other IRL in a video game in a cool venue surrounded by everyone with the same passion, same passion for gaming. Just watching it would be absolutely unreal. It'll be so cool.
How do you choose what games to play?
I don't, so Pope does.
Okay.
Yeah, Pope. So he's a full-time content creator. So he knows like what game is the go, like what game's the jam. Like he just knows. Like he's chosen all of our games so far, and all of them have just been amazing. So he just knows what games to play down, and then for me, I just work my way around it. Yeah.
Do you think it sounds like you guys work pretty well together?
Yeah.
Have pretty good chemistry and complementary traits.
Yeah, 100%. Like me and him work so well together that it's just unreal. We toss back ideas, we keep each other grounded, we've got each other's back. And yeah, it's just, for me personally, I've got so much respect for him, because he does full-time content creation, he's got a family, all that other kind of stuff. And I'm like, dude, like I want to be on the same level as Pope, so I work a full-time job, get home, I've got a partner, I want to do what I enjoy and just kind of be the best that I can. So I try level myself onto Pope's level, and we just kind of help each other out with it. So it's pretty good. He's amazing.
Did you know him before messaging him about KiwiRivals?
I met him once, and that was through our first event that we did for Streamin NZ. So I met him through that. And then I followed him on Twitch, and then he got me into playing Grand Theft Auto roleplay online, so I kind of jumped onto that, and yeah, we just kind of went back and forth, and then that's when I messaged him. It was like about KiwiRivals, and then just kind of clicked on that. And it's good because yet again, like me and him have the same idea. We have the same amount of love for KiwiRivals. We want to make this grow and represent New Zealand and compete with all those other international events. And we're like, okay, like, let's go hard on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no half-assing. Like, we have to go 100%. It's 100% or nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then me and him have just gone 100% all the way through.
It's been working out so far.
Yeah. So far, 100%. Like, KiwiRivals 2... we went in and I was like, okay, like we've got a live DJ coming in and we've got 17 creators. Originally it was supposed to be 20, but we had a few pull out like super last minute, like 20 minutes before we went live. Really? Yeah. So that comes with the territory of this type of thing. You just have people pulling out super last minute. And we were like, I was like, okay, sweet, KiwiRivals 2. People loved KiwiRivals 1. They were hyping KiwiRivals 2 up. People were talking about it. And we're like, okay, sweet. Like, I reckon we'll probably get, I'd say, either 250 to maybe 400 plus. Like, that's what we were hoping for. Yeah. And as soon as we went live, it was huge. Like, it was nuts. We already had people in the chat before we even went live at the time. And it was just going off. And we actually ended up reaching 1,000 live viewers that night. Yeah, 1,000. Blew my mind. 1,000 live viewers. There was a Super Smash Bros tournament in New Zealand because we were doing a Super Smash Bros as well. So there was a Super Smash Bros tournament that was happening in New Zealand at the same time. Same time.
Was that on purpose that you guys set up like
No,
that?
we had no idea. Okay. We had no idea. No idea. And then, we ended up beating them by quite a large amount in regards to viewers. And then we also found out there was like a Japanese Super Smash Bros tournament happening the same time, same night. And we were beating them by like 400 views or something. And I was like, whoa, like what is going on right now? Like this is nuts. So we reached like 1,100 live views for these guys. And it was like this is nuts. Like I wanted to cry. Like this is so emotional for me because there was KiwiRivals 2 was like the hardest one to plan because you do your first one, then you learn from your mistakes what you did from the first one, put it into the second one, but then somehow you want to go bigger and better than your first one. So there was a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of meetings and everything put into the second one. And seeing it pay off like that was just absolutely unreal. Like we ended up checking the analytics after the night after, and I was looking through the analytics and it was like, boom, 10,000 peak views. And I was like, what the hell? Like we had 10,000 people watch us. Like this is crazy. Yeah. Like 10,000 people know that KiwiRivals exists. Like it was crazy.
That's crazy. When that's happening, where are you? Are you in the back room, like on your laptop refreshing, or what is going on there?
So we had in KiwiRivals 2, we had like the main stage, then we had like the little communal area, then we had this like host room, then we had like I'd say the heart of everything, the heart of the event, which is like everything's teed into one computer, like everything's live on one computer. I was chilling in there for most of the night. And I was just kind of watching, going back and forth, trying to like I'd guess run everything from the back end type thing. And then we had like a moderator room. So we had one person just kind of in charge of like giveaways and chat moderation and all that stuff. So we had one person in there doing that. So I was just chilling in the back. And then because I went out for a vape, came back in, and I went to go check up on Greg, who's the marketing manager from Playtech. I was like, all right, sweet, like, how many views are we sitting at? And he was like, bro, like 500.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh? No, you're playing with me right now. Like, you're joking. Pulled up my phone, jumped on the Twitch stream, it was like 500.
Crazy.
And I was like, oh, bro.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I went out to go see Pope, because Pope was competing. went out to go see him, and I was like, bro, have you checked the stream? And he was like, bro, I know, I just had a look. Like, this is crazy. Went back in, like 10 minutes goes by, boom, 700.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is going on right now? Like, it was nuts, and it was, yeah. I was a bit everywhere at that stage. Like, as soon as we reached 500, I was like, whoa, like, whoa. Yeah, it was unreal.
Was the last one? What number was that one?
That was 2.
There was 2.
That was 2.
Yeah.
Yep. So the last one that we've done this year was number 3.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's our last one for the year. We wanted to try squeeze in another one, but it's just too much, way too much. And we've got little time to do it. It takes, I'd say for the event to run smoothly, everyone on board, everyone the same page as everyone, it probably takes about 2 months. 2 months to actually put everything into gear and actually roll it.
Is it how far apart the first one and the second one was?
It's like every 3 months.
Yeah.
So it's like the first one, we plan while we rest and recover. Then we plan and we come up with promo ideas, and we come up with like trailers and registration forms and pump out the registration forms for X amount of time. Then we get the community to vote on it, for them to vote for their favorite creator to come on board. And then from there, then we obviously email every creator that's been picked. And we're like, hey, look, you've been selected to come on to KiwiRivals. This is the date that it's happening. Can you make it? Yes or no? And they're like, sweet, I can make it. They're either flying up, busing up. It just happens. Like, we have people all around New Zealand registering, which is crazy. And then we try find hosts and commentators for the night. We come up with like ideas. Greg comes up with like the room layout, but also in that time as well, we're also emailing like sponsors. So like Burger Fuel, Jägermeister, Red Bull, like everyone. So yeah, it takes, we give ourselves a 3-month mark to be like, okay, sweet. The next 3 months, like we'll rest for like a couple of weeks, then boom, straight into it. And then it takes 3 months to kind of build up from that.
That's quick.
It is.
That's really quick.
It's very quick.
4 times a year?
Yeah. It's, we've done 3.
Yeah.
So we've done 3 times. So next year, I think we're just going to be rolling with 3. So it'll be 3 events throughout the year. So we'll do 2 small ones, which is like, streamers and content creators can come in. And then the last one at the end of the year, we want to do a big one. And that's where we invite like, Uncle Jack and Jackie Chang and all those big, amazing content creators that you see. And like, that was the idea that I wanted to do, is to invite the winners of the first 2 and then bring them into the third one so they can meet the bigger creators and kind of play against those guys. And then, it's
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's a lot of work.
But it sounds like it's always on, Liam.
Yeah. It's great. Like, people, like, now people have been messaging myself and Pope and like, bro, like, how do I help? Like, I want to help this grow. I want to do this. I want to do that. How do I compete in the next one? How do I, is there like a requirement for me to register? Like, how do I do to get amongst this thing? And it's like, sometimes, like, if people are asking for help, they want to help out with the event, I really want to take them on board, but it's like, we're just not that big enough yet to actually take them.
As in, like, you can't pay them back or anything.
Yeah, like so that. At the moment, everything is voluntary. So funnily enough, like, myself and Pope are losing money on KiwiRivals, right? So we're investing our own money into it. So we've got, the only revenue that we kind of get is from donations and stuff while the event is happening. That's it. And whatever gets contributed in kind of goes back into it. So, yeah, everything. So myself, Pope, Nick, Alison Zombieland, we kind of do this like voluntary.
Okay, who's Nick?
So he is one of my good mates. So he helps. He pretty much ran KiwiRivals 3. So he was in the back end changing all the audios, the cameras, all that stuff. So he was the heart of it that night.
Right.
So yeah, and he's like amazing at what he does. So he's crazy. He just knows when to switch the cameras and the camera angles and the audios and everything. Like, he's just the man. And yeah, all of us just do it voluntary, just in our own time. And no one's getting paid. So,
but it's awesome that you got 4 people, including yourself, to form a team like that? Because not everyone wants to do anything voluntarily, you know?
Nah, no way. Like, you know, people see like what they see now. Like, this is the trouble that me and Pope are having now, is that people will see, like, every time we pump out like a promo or something, they'll see, you know, Playtech, Gamer Fuel, Burger Fuel, Jägermeister New Zealand on a banner. And it's like, oh, these guys are making like heaps of money, like surely. And it's like, we're not though. Like, that's the thing. Like, people are starting to treat us like, okay, yeah, like these guys are making like big money. It's like, no, we're not.
So
like,
those money goes back into...
Yeah, like we don't even get money from these guys, from the sponsors that we have now.
Right.
So we don't get anything from them. So the only thing that we get is like giveaways. So Burger Fuel hooked us up with like heaps of Burger Fuel vouchers. And then Jägermeister hooked us up with like heaps of Jägermeister merch, like t-shirts, necklaces, shot glasses, all that stuff. And then that just gets pumped back into the viewers and the community.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like a big giveaway that we can do for them. Yeah, and then Gamer Fuel hooks us up with like energy drinks and stuff for the creators the night. Playtech lets us use their space. So it's, yeah. So far, we're not getting any revenue in from any sponsors, and that's what we're trying to do.
Right.
We're trying to reach out and be like, guys, like, this is an idea that you cannot miss out on. So it's just been nonstop. It's just been nonstop.
So I think, I guess in a way, you're convincing them that like, yeah, what would be like your kind of sales pitch? Because as a sponsor,
it's basically like, hey, look, we've got this idea. We've run it successfully for a year. We've grown our fan base by X amount. We've cracked in this many views. This is an event that can do well in New Zealand, and especially if we do like a live event, but we just need a sponsor to help us out with that. And then that way they can help us pay for the venue, then they can help us pay for the setups. They can help just pretty much with everything that is involved. And then that's when we can kind of start breaking in the revenues with seat tickets and seat sales and everything else in between. Is we just need a sponsor that's willing to kind of take the risk on to help us achieve something.
Yeah, it's like see the vision.
See the vision, yeah.
See the vision, right? Yeah, because I don't know, just seeing how it grew. I mean, to me, doesn't sound too far away.
It's not. It's growing at an like outrageous rate.
Yeah,
like from our first event only reaching like 250 views to our second event by reaching 1,000 views, and our third event by having Uncle Jack, Jackie Chang, and reaching like 350, maybe I think 400 live views is nuts. Like, it's crazy to think that it's expanded that much. And from our first 3 events, we started off with Playtech and Burger Fuel. Then for our second one, we went from Playtech and Gamer Fuel. Then our second one, we went from Playtech, Gamer Fuel, Burger Fuel.
Right.
Third one, we had Playtech, Gamer Fuel, Burger Fuel, Jägermeister New Zealand. So just having those is incredible. So it's amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I didn't expect it.
What do you think can be improved in the next one?
Next one, I think we want to work on getting more games in. Like, our time management is pretty half and half at the moment. I think for me personally, I think a game, I'm like, sweet. You know, it's 5 minutes per game. There's like 10 people. We're going to stream 2 hours tops. KiwiRivals 3 re-streamed for like 4 or 5 hours. Yeah. So that's something that I need to work on, especially is the timing per streams. I need to do a lot more research and just kind of figure out how, like, instead of me saying, sweet, you know, the stream's going to last 2 hours. It doesn't. It lasts 4 or 5 hours. It's like, I need to figure out that's something that needs to improve.
Do you mean you need to stick more to the time?
Yeah, 100%. Because if we go, because obviously everyone wants to know when this finishes, right? And if we're streaming at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday, and it goes for like 5 hours, It's like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, sweet. Actually, this event is going to go till 8:30 or 9 o'clock. But it goes to 10:30. Then it's like, okay, I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, that's something that needs to improve on my side.
Right.
Yeah.
And was it the special case in the last stream, or was it like that in the streams, like the KiwiRivals before that too?
So, it's kind of happened on both of them. Besides our first one. First one, we kind of stuck to our time. The second one, we actually had to pull an idea out. So we had to can an idea that we were going to do because we were just running way over time. So we had to can one of the ideas that we were going to do on stream. So we had to can that. And then KiwiRivals 3, we just ran over time, like by a long shot. And yeah, it's very hard to kind of keep on track because you just don't know what's going to happen. Like the games can go on for too long, or they can be cut real short. It's just depending on the players.
Yeah, because with the last game as well that you played, there's always extra time that...
There is extra time, yeah. And I didn't expect that. Right. I didn't expect the extra time thing to go on, and I was like, oh my God, like... my bad. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I told everyone that it was going to be like 2-3 hours, but it went like 4 or 5 hours. And I was like, fuck, sorry, guys. My bad. Yeah.
Is it because the games went longer? Is that why?
Yeah, I think we just underestimated how long the games can actually last. And the tournament bracket that we had, like, we just completely underestimated it. It, yeah. So I think going into our next one next year, we're going to be doing a lot of time research on per games and sticking to our time. Yeah, because we did notice like after 9 o'clock on a Saturday, that's when our viewers start to drop off because either everyone's gone out to town, everyone's got something to do on a Saturday night. So we're researching on where we can definitely improve. Yeah.
How does Twitch Rival manage that?
They're just massive. They're just huge. So they can just do whatever they want.
Right.
Yeah.
They run for hours and the whole day.
Yeah, they can run for hours and they're still cracking in like 25,000 views.
Yeah.
So, they can definitely do what they've got. They can just do whatever they want. True. Yeah. And for like Twitch Rivals, obviously, they can fly in all these big creators and put them up in nice hotel rooms and stuff. But for KiwiRivals, it's like, we can't do that. So we want to just like borrow the content creators and streamers for only a selected amount of time and then just let them go. Like they can do whatever they want. And especially if it's, they're coming up from Auckland, from like Wellington or Christchurch or New Plymouth or wherever in New Zealand they're coming from. We want them to have a good time in Auckland. So we want to be like, okay, sweet, you can come to this event for like 3 hours, 2 hours. And then you can just enjoy your Saturday night in Auckland. You can go out to town. You can do whatever. You can catch up with friends, family, all that stuff. But if we push over there and it's like 4 or 5 hours, then it's like, oh man, like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. So that's something that I need to improve in.
With the time restriction as well, they will restrict the kind of type of games you can play, right?
Not really. I think like if we're going into overtime and running for those streams for a longer period of time, we'll be kind of dabbling into our viewership. So depending on what time in the world everyone's watching from, it just kind of dips in and out on the time zones, different time zones, especially if we go overtime. So if we're pushing later, we're losing the New Zealand viewership. But if we're streaming from like 11 p.m. till like 4 a.m., we're gaining the American viewership. So it's depending on, it's very hard to like set a time and stick to it. And depending on what type of audience you want to target as well.
In terms of duration, if it's like 2 hour duration that you want to stick to, then there are some games like League of Legends, for example. It would be just one game.
League of Legends could take on like 2 days.
Yeah.
Like for us, we would want to choose a game that we can just go, like games that 2 people can enjoy, have fun for like 5-10 minutes. Like that's it. Like for example, League of Legends, that can go on for hours.
Yeah,
like if
exactly.
Both teams are like super good, they're even. That game is just going to go on for hours until one player messes up. Like that's it.
But it's a popular game, Liam.
It is very popular. Oh my god!
So you could, I don't know, maybe one game is enough for like a stream.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, 100%.
Or like ARAM.
Yeah, ARAM.
Yeah.
We have kind of gone back and forth now because we've had a lot of feedback. And we listen to the feedback 100%. Feedback's like your best friend. And people want to see more like FPS games. So like Valorant, Call of Duty, they want to see more of that type of game. So we're like, okay, sweet. Like we will plan and organize something around that. But then also like, I don't want to say anything too much because it'd be a bit of a spoiler and, you know, we haven't even started like working on it yet, but we do have something planned up for the first one next year, which is going to be completely cool. Like I'm super stoked about it because it was Pope's idea. So now Pope talked to me about it. I loved it. So now I'm going to start reaching out to these different creators and it's like, okay, sweet. Like this is going to be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, mysterious.
Yeah. Mysterious.
So do you usually not release like the game you'll be playing?
Yeah, so we did that in KiwiRivals too. So we did that because we wanted to keep everyone on the equal playing field. Like everyone's the same level, you know, like but we didn't know that these creators have played Super Smash Bros. Or not. So, but yet again, we just kept it a secret from the public and the creators and the competitors that are playing. So we've kept it a massive secret. And we released it to the public and the content creators the night before.
Really?
Yeah. So we're like, hey guys, look, we're playing Super Smash Bros. FYI. And everyone was like, oh my god, like I don't have time to practice.
Yeah, so rusty.
Yeah. And I was like, and then me and Pope were like, that's the idea. Like we don't want one person to just overall wipe everyone. We want to keep the suspense. We want to keep the tension. We want to keep it edge of seat type deal. So everyone's coming in super equal playing field. You literally don't know who's going to win. Yeah, and that's what we wanted to do. And we achieved it because, oh my God, like it was crazy. Like you just didn't know who was going to be eliminated, who was going to win. It was nuts. It was crazy.
But on the other hand, an argument could be made that then you lose kind of the skill expression side of things.
Yeah, that is true. Like, but we're trying to do KiwiRivals as a fun, competitive thing. Like we're just here to have fun and showcase what talent we have here in New Zealand. Like we don't want to get into the esports side of things where everyone's super competitive. Everyone's like, you have to be the best of the best. Like this is just a bunch of your favorite content creators and streamers in New Zealand come together and just have fun on a video game and just kind of compete with each other to see who would win. That's it.
Do you pick then people that have played the game before?
So the formula that we did for KiwiRivals 3, so your content creators and streamers would register. We would leave that open for about 2-3 weeks. Then we would close that. Then we would release a voting form. And then whoever gets voted in or whoever has the highest votes will be selected to come along to KiwiRivals 3. And the game that we chose, we had no idea a few people have played it.
Okay.
Then we released the game we released the game that we were going to play to the public and the community. The public and the creators. And we're like, okay, sweet. Rocket League.
Yeah.
You guys have time because it's a game that you have to know how to play.
You kind of have, because I played once for the first time. It wouldn't have been entertaining to watch because I'm like nowhere near the ball.
Same. Oh my God.
So hard.
Yeah. So we released it. We released the game as soon as we felt comfortable that we were going to stick with this game. So we released it to the content creators and the public. We're like, sweet, this is the game that they're going to play. So the creators have about 2 weeks to practice and get the basic controls down. But we found out that a few players were actually like really good at the game. Like,
it's a popular game too.
It's a very popular game. So some people were like diamond. They would play ranked and they were diamond or platinum.
That's really high.
Yeah, very high. And I was like, damn, like shit. Oh man, they are definitely gonna win. And like on the event, on the night, we had one person pull out, and then we had I invited iTunes New Zealand. Amazing. He's super amazing, man. He's such a nice guy, and his artwork, incredible.
He's not a streamer, right?
He's getting back into it, but he mainly does anime art. Prints it on like apparel, like t-shirts, hoodies, all the stuff. He's super good. So we collabed up with him on KiwiRivals 3. So he did our KiwiRivals 3 merch, which was like the Baron mode of Naruto. We did Goku, I don't know, version 3 or whatever, like his strongest version. Then we had Luffy Gear 5. So we did the initial big 3 of the anime, and then we smacked it into KiwiRivals 3 because this is going to be our big 3. We invited him up to come to KiwiRivals 3 and hang out and just kind of meet, and because I haven't even met the dude because he lives in Wellington.
Right.
So he flew up, which was super amazing. So I met him, and then we had one content creator pull out super last minute, like 5 minutes. And I was like, man, it's like stress levels are high now. And I was like, oh, wait, we've got iTunes here.
Right.
He can fill in that space. We threw him in, and then ended up finding out like he is like the pro at the game. I had no idea. But it was fun at the end of it because, you know, we like the finals was iTunes and Yerix Grizzly. So Yerix Grizzly was like, he's never played the game before, but he made it to the finals.
That's fun. Really?
Yeah, which was nuts.
How'd you do it, Grizz? No, maybe he's lying. He's like, I've never played. Like, is this how you move? And he's like, pro.
Pro. But nah, he was actually pretty decent at the game.
Natural.
And he was throwing down. So seeing those two in the finals was like, it was yet again like an experience as well, because you knew who was going to win.
Yeah.
But Grizz put up a big fight. So it was still a good watch.
Yeah. So iTunes took it.
He took it home.
Took it home. He wasn't even in the competition like 5 minutes before.
No, he literally wasn't. Like there was no like mention of him in the creator lineup or anything. Like he was just nothing. And then we just had one person pull out, and we were like, fuck. Oh wait, we got iTunes, throw him in, like fill in the space.
Heck yeah.
And then he ended up taking it home. So
what's the pullout like? What are the reasons for pullout usually? Because it's very last minute.
Oh, very. Like it's basically like people calling in sick for work. Like at the end of the day, you know, it's like, oh, I'm just not feeling too well, I'm not going to come, or it's basically the sick card. To be honest, like, it's basically the sick card, and like it's a bit annoying because it's super last minute, because it's 5 to 10 minutes before we go live, and we have 5 to 10 minutes to find another person that's available for the night with 5 to 10 minutes notice to be like, hey, can you get to Playtech, come compete? So it's very annoying. Like, and it is what it is at the end of the day. You can't really do much. You can't force people to come. So it's a bit of a low blow for us because we've put so much time and effort promoting these guys, and then they're just like, nah, I don't want to come anymore.
True.
Yeah.
Have you thought about how you might work around that for the next stream?
Yeah. So going forward, we've come up with some new ideas. So going forward, we're going to be we'll have our main competitors, and then we'll bring maybe like a couple of runner-ups to the event, and just be like, you guys can hang out, you guys can chill out, you can watch the event live at Playtech. But if someone pulls out, then maybe you can step in and take over. That's one way that we can definitely beat it. If not, then we'll just have to reduce the size of the event, just minus one person, which isn't too bad. But if like 2 or 3 people start to pull out, then it's like, okay, like this is serious right now. Like something's wrong. So it's what comes with the territory of creating something like this. Yeah.
Like a live event thing.
A live event thing, 100%. And
with the like a high demand on the FPS, I feel like there would be like one of the games that would be hard to stream live, hard to show live. You know, like for example, what was the last game that was played? That
Rocket League.
Yeah, Rocket League.
Yeah,
like, you know, it's you can see it, maybe 2 screens.
Yeah.
Like I can kind of see it, but I don't know with FPS because you have teams of different players.
FPS could work. It's just depending on what type of FPS you'll play. So we can definitely play Valorant because you can go in the spectator mode.
Right.
And with the spectator mode, it's just basically a camera that you can just float around in.
Right, okay.
And you can get other players' point of views on each team. So you can go back and forth on each team to see what is actually going on, just to keep the viewer engagement going. You can go third person and just roam around the map and just have a look at other people. So Valorant is definitely the FPS game that I think we will want to jam in the future.
Yeah.
Call of Duty and stuff might be a little bit hard. Pope's game that he really wants to play for KiwiRivals is Fortnite. But yet again, it's like, okay, we have to have 100 computers. We have to go pretty nuts on this thing to do it a live thing like this. And yeah, I think for us, it's just Valorant, COD, Fortnite, and maybe what's another good FPS? I think that's it at the moment. Maybe CSGO.
Right.
Yeah, but other than that, it's not really a big hype for FPS at the moment.
Is Valorant the most
Valorant's
popular one?
Insane.
Riot's doing something right.
Oh, dude, Valorant is just nuts at the moment. People are frothing Valorant.
Yeah,
it's crazy. For me, I'm a boomer, man. I can't play I can't play FPS games anymore.
Yeah,
yeah.
How come?
It's just back when you were in I'd say about 16, 17, you're at your peak video game. You were just you were dropping 30 bombs per match. You were just going hard. But you were versing the dads that just got home from work after their big 9 to 5. Right. They want to jump on video games and just chill out. Back when I was 16, 17, I was doing that. I was dropping 30 bombs going hard. But now, the roles have reversed.
You want to chill. You want to chill.
I want to chill and relax, but I'm just getting smacked around like there's no tomorrow. So,
all these tryhards, man.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. These tryhards. At the moment, I'm playing Apex with 2 of my mates, and back then, 3 years ago, me and the boys, we were good. I'm not gonna brag, we were going diamond and gold, almost platinum at one stage. Yeah, and diamond. Yeah, and we're okay, we're good. We're
that's good.
We're sweat.
Yeah.
Okay, we are the sweat at this point. We would jump into public games and we would just absolutely decimate. We would win back-to-back games, and now it's the roles have reversed, man.
Yeah.
We would drop in, land straight away, and we'd just get obliterated within 5 minutes.
So what are you now?
Dude, I'm rookie 3.
What's that? Is bronze?
It's lower than bronze,
it's bronze.
man.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah, it's lower than bronze.
It's a really big fall.
Big fall.
Yeah.
Big fall. But I'm slowly kind of getting back into it. But yet again, I just want to chill and play video games when I get home, it's crazy.
So you play Apex Legends?
Apex Legends at the moment. But I just like playing, the MMO RPGs and adventure games and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That's my main two. That's my main go.
Oh, what do you play?
At the moment, man, I play a bit of everything. So I dabbled in Black Desert Online for a bit.
Okay.
Absolutely beautiful game if you love your MMO RPG stuff. Super grindy, but really fun. Lost Ark as well.
I've heard of Lost Ark.
Lost Ark is quite fun. So I played that for 100 and something hours, I think. It's not a lot, but... And then I play Foxhole as well, which is a tabletop tabletop sandbox online war game.
Oh, wow.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. So I play that. So those, and then Apex. Yeah.
Riot's coming up with a MMORPG at some point too. Have you heard about that?
I have. I think is it that cozy relax?
No. It's gonna be full on MMORPG.
Okay.
They haven't really released any art or anything.
Yeah.
But it would be kind of full on.
Okay, cool.
It would be set in the Riot's the Runeterra universe.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I do like, for me, I really love like a good MMORPG.
Yeah.
Like, I just love it. Like, and like an RPG game as well. Like I used to be a big fan of like Fable, the Fable series, Fable 1, 2, and 3. Loved it. Skyrim as well,
True.
Dragon Age. Yeah, loved those games.
Yeah. Elden Ring looks really cool.
Elden Ring I've played, and man, I cannot play it. Like, I just get smacked around like this. Like there's no tomorrow, man. Like
this tryhards computers, man.
you
know what I
these
mean?
NPCs are nuts, bro.
They tryhards, you know.
Yeah, NPCs, bro. Like, nah. It's a for me, like when I'm playing games, especially FPS games.
Yeah.
I tend to rage quite easily.
Right.
Like when I'm in a competitive mode, I just tend to like tense up and I'm like, okay, like I'm getting a bit pissed off now. So with Elden Ring, I think tops I could probably play is like half an hour.
Before rage quitting.
Before I'm like,
Before rage quitting.
Yeah, before I punch my screen. Yeah, like... Elden Ring is just hard.
It's tough. It's a mental training.
It is mental. You have to learn the patterns of the bosses that you fight. It's a crazy game.
Yeah.
It's a crazy game.
Isn't this guy like called Let Me Solo Her?
Is that the dude that did like the speed run, or not the speed run, but he did all the Dark Souls games without taking a single bit of damage?
He might have done that, but he's famous for there's like a really hard boss in Elden Ring. Is it Elena?
Is it the final boss?
It's it's got like she's like a lady.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a lady
yeah.
boss.
Yeah.
Do you know her name?
I think it is Elena.
Elena or something.
I'm not too sure. I can't.
Yeah. So apparently, a lot of people find her really hard to beat. So what he does is he just joins in on other people's like server or something. And I don't know how the Elden Ring works, and then he defeats her for them.
Oh wow!
But the way he does it is he must like learned it so off by heart because he just puts on like this weird as helmet that looks like a jar.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
And he's completely naked.
I've seen,
yeah.
I've seen that stuff. I've seen that stuff. It's so funny.
Yeah.
But nah, there are some people that take the Dark Souls games super serious. Like I've seen people do, like they'll start all the Dark Souls series. And if they take a bit of single damage, they have to start, like, for example, if they get to Dark Souls 3.
Right.
If they take a bit of damage in Dark Souls 3, they have to start from back to Dark Souls 1.
Goodness.
And then go all the way. And I've seen people, like, complete all the way up to Dark Souls 3, and then they'll jump on Elden Ring and do that. And it's like, how do you even do that,
It's
man?
crazy, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I at least die 4 times by the simplest NPC. Like, it's crazy.
Have you played Cuphead before?
No.
Oh, yeah, that's another, like, rage inducing one.
I can't do rage games.
Yeah.
Like when I first started streaming, I played the game Pogo Stick or Pogo Stuck.
Okay.
And it's basically, you know, the game where the dude's in the big pot and he's got the pickaxe.
Yeah. What is it called?
I'm not too sure.
Getting over something.
Yeah, it's something like that. But the game's super popular. But there's another version called Pogo Stuck.
I think I may have seen that one too.
And it's basically you're a dude on a pogo stick and you just have to go up and up and up and up and up and up and up.
Yeah.
And I got to a point where I was quite high up, and I was like, when you're that high up and you get real nervous, it's like one mistake could just end it, and you're right back to the beginning, right back. And I did that, fell all the way down to the bottom, and I was just like, I'm done. I am done with this game. And I haven't played it since, like, because it's a very rage-inducing game.
Yeah,
especially when you get so high up, and it's like, damn, done.
There is a streamer, there's a League of Legends player, Faker, the legend.
Okay.
Have you heard? Do you play League of Legends?
I played it. I've played it back in the day, like, and then I've recently played it when Arcane dropped on Netflix. I was like, okay, I really like the Arcane show. I'm gonna give League of Legends another try.
Yeah,
jumped onto it, and I was playing like the NPCs, like the PvE type thing, and I was just like, I can't. I kept on dying like all the time. I'm pretty sure the NPC told me to uninstall my game at one point. So I was like, okay, like this is bad. Yeah. And I just stopped playing. Like,
you didn't enjoy it?
I just can't get my head around it. Like just how you have to go out. Yep, sweet. That part is simple. It's more or less choosing the right character and then choosing the right upgrades and buying the right equipment for that character, then going back out and then doing all these ulti moves and sticking to your lane and all that stuff. It's just too fast paced for me.
It is one of the sweetest game in the world.
It literally is.
Like honestly, the amount of people that play it plus amount of effort they put in.
Yeah, the hours is nuts.
Hours is nuts. And if they're not playing that, most likely they're watching.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, because I know that what is it, Worlds?
Yeah,
is it still on or is it finished?
Going on right now, I think.
Okay, yeah. So I know one of my good mates. So he watches Worlds and then also plays League, and then same with another couple of people that I know. And it's just like, man, I can't, man. I want to get into it because it looks like you can have a good time, but at the end of it, they're like, bro, if you get into League, like you'll love it, but you'll also like hate it.
Bro, for real though. Like I had to quit because it's so much fun.
Yeah,
it's so much fun, but it is very heavy time investment.
It is because those games can go on for ages, right?
For sure.
Yeah, ages.
For sure.
So I want to get into it, but it's like, I don't know.
I would advise against it.
Yeah,
but at the same time. Heck yeah, I would love it if you did.
I don't know. Like I need to hire a coach and be like, all right, which is the best character to start off with, and how do I play it? And then be like, sweet, how do I buy the right equipment and go back out? Like, what do I do?
Yeah,
I basically need like a good run through, like a tutorial step.
Who's your go-to LoL streamer in New Zealand?
I'd say Plain Sunday.
Yeah, I saw him play.
Yeah, Plain Sunday or Charlotte the Kiwi.
Right.
Yeah, so those two fucking play League of Legends. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, they watch Worlds and all that stuff, and they play it themselves, and they do little tournaments and stuff, so it's like, okay. So I watch those guys.
I would say I would advise against League of Legends, but are there Riot games? Like, have you played TFT? Like the
Team Fortress?
Yeah. Oh no. TFT. So that's Team Fight Tactics.
No.
Right. It's like Dota's got like Dota chess. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
So yeah. And League of Legends got the equivalent chess for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, League of Legends.
Oh,
and that's fun.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun. It's pretty chill.
Yeah.
It's
not enough, like, no sweat. Like,
less sweat. Yeah, there's always sweat. Yeah. There's always sweat.
there is. Like, no matter what game you play, like, you're going to come across some people that just, like, live and breathe the game.
Exactly.
Like, it's crazy.
Because for me, it was like, okay, like, this is less meta reliant.
Yeah.
And, you can kind of have to use your intellectual a little bit. You still have to think, but at the same time, it's not like you are bound by that much, like, short time or anything.
Yeah.
But I started watching other streamers. Yeah. And there's meta.
Yeah.
There's like things to do.
There's huge
Build
meta.
To do.
Huge meta,
I'm like,
man.
huge.
You
fall behind if you don't keep up with that.
Yeah, straight up. Like when me and the boys stopped playing Apex for like a year, and then we jumped back into it, we were just getting sweated on. Then I started watching TikToks and stuff, and then I saw like my Apex started coming up on my recommended, and I was like, okay, sweet, let's have a gaze. And it was just like all meta stuff, like use the R99, use the Peacekeeper, use the L-Star, use this, use that.
Right.
Like people just knew what to use and what gun did damage, and their like each character's hitbox is like bigger or smaller than one another's, and it's like, what? Like,
it makes a difference.
It's huge. Like
difference.
people like go hard out research into games. It's crazy.
It's crazy, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things. It's like another hobby, you know?
It is.
Do you play sports? Yeah?
I used to. So back in like school, I used to play like soccer for the school and outside. So I used to play soccer, loved it. Then I stopped playing soccer because I moved to a different place. And then I just fell in love with snow sports. So I fell in love with like snowboarding. Then I did snowboarding for about 2 years. And I just do snowboarding now. Like every season, I tend to go down to the snow. But for the past couple of seasons, obviously, it's been a bit like touch and go with like COVID and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So.
How about during summer then?
During summer, like I just like to cruise on a skateboard. Like I don't really play like competitive IRL sport.
True.
Yeah. I'm out of shape. You know, like I got asthma and all that kind of stuff, so it's a bit hard. But moral of the story is I just out of shape. I can't get back into it.
Is the KiwiRivals keeping you busy, Liam?
Yeah, it's definitely keeping me busy because KiwiRivals is like an all year round team.
Yeah,
like summer, then winter, autumn, all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely, it keeps me busy.
Yeah,
keeps me busy. I got pretty much no time for anything else.
Exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say like picking up another game is kind of like picking up a hobby, you know?
It literally is.
Yeah,
it is, and especially if you pick up a game and you really enjoy it, and it's like, okay, like I did that with Black Desert Online, and I was playing that through and through, and my cousin found out that I was playing it, and he's obsessed with it, and my cousin's got like 1,000 hours or something pumped into it. Like he's massive, and he just knew where to go, knew where to farm, knew what monsters were good, leveling up the XP and challenging world bosses with big largest group of players and all this other stuff. He just knew everything about the game, and I was just like mind blowing, man. And I was just a little like 30 noob. I didn't even know what I was doing. I was just running around killing monsters. But my cousin just knew how to XP farm. He knew how to just AFK farm.
Yeah,
everything. Like he just knew everything about the game, and it was a fun game.
Yeah, and like the nature is that you can't compete against people that spend that much hours, you know?
Nah, you literally can't.
Yeah.
Like, it's basically like you're challenging, like, oh, sweet, you know? You love boxing? Sweet, let's box for a bit. Then you're like, okay, I want to verse a pro. And it's like, that's just not going to end well for you, man. Like, you got to have at least the same amount of hours or done the same amount of time as these guys before you actually like want to throw down and survive. And it's basically like that with a video game.
Yeah,
you know, like you're not going to verse what's his name, Timmy's or Timmy. He's like a very professional Apex player. You're not going to be like, oh sweet, 1v1 me, and you've just started playing, and it's like, nah, dude, like it's just not going to work out. This dude breathes the game, man. Like he just knows everything about the game. Like you're not going to survive.
What do you think about those YouTubers turned boxers?
I think it's a pretty big move. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, it's a pretty big move. And seeing, like, you know, Jake Paul, Logan Paul, KSI, all those guys get into it is definitely, like, kicked up the word of boxing, I reckon. I personally reckon. Because, you know, I didn't know any boxers and stuff. And when I heard about Logan Paul and all those boys joining it, I was like, okay, like that's pretty cool. And I saw them fight, like Logan Paul fought Floyd Mayweather. And I was like, man, like Logan Paul, crazy stuff. So it's definitely a switch up from what they normally do till now, like boxing and wrestling and just outside sport, like physical sport is like, wow, like good on you, man. Like you do whatever you need to do, right? Like, it's crazy.
Is it something that we can expect in KiwiRivals?
We actually threw the idea around of doing IRL games within KiwiRivals, but we obviously need a bigger venue to do that type of stuff. So we wanted to do like the Kiwi Classics, like Foursquare, handball, gutter ball, play a game of Uno. Like we wanted to bring some.
That would be really fun.
Yeah, we wanted to bring some like IRL games into KiwiRivals, but yet again, it's just like the venue that we have, how we're going to do it, where we're going to do it, all that stuff. So the idea is still there. We just need a big enough venue to do that type of stuff. And to be honest, I would love to do like a handball competition along with like video games as well. Like handball, like when I was growing up, was like peak for me. Like I loved handball, man. Like it was so much fun.
Were you like diamond or?
Oh, dude, I was either the king or I was the like second place all the time. Like I was that. Like, No, I was that guy in high school. You know, like in handball. Everything else I wasn't. But came to handball. Boom, you'd see me at the squares.
Yeah. You know your shit.
Oh, dude, I do, man. So if we bring in handball and for like a KiwiRivals, like you'll definitely see me in there.
Yeah, you will be competing. You no way you'll be just at the back end, you know.
Nah, I'll be king spot like all day.
Yeah,
like, you will not throw me out.
I would love that. I would love that. But something like that would be awesome. Like
100%. Yeah. So we do plan to bring in some IRL games. It's just depending on what and how. So we are still working on like the logistics side and the space and all that stuff side, like all that side of things. So at the moment, we're just kind of sticking to what we know and what we know how to do comfortably. Then we can tend to branch out and be like, okay, sweet, we can do this. Like we can branch out and try to do this now. Like, so it's just a space, I guess.
Like Uno should be fine, right?
Uno, 100%. We could definitely do Uno. I guess it's just, we could definitely do Uno. 102%. That was the idea that we first had. Where I wanted to do an Uno game. Video games, then jump in for a round of Uno, but yet again, Uno is a game that could potentially take quite a while.
That's true. Yeah. That is true.
Yeah. So
that's hard, man. All these things I didn't even think about.
That's true. Yeah. There's a lot of things a lot of things that goes, like you've got to think about. Like if it's, sweet, I want to play this game. Okay, sweet. How many people are playing?
Yeah.
All right, 10. Sweet. How long is the rounds? About, I don't know, 3 rounds per pair. Okay. How long are the rounds? Is there overtime? Then you kind of have to work out the time and then kind of go through that and pretty much times it by how many players. Then you got to go roll through like the elimination rounds. Then you got to go into the finals. How long do you want the finals to go on for? Sweet. Okay. That's just the game time. You've got like an hour 30, hour 40 game time. Okay, sweet. Now we need to figure out how long the DJ set's going to go on for.
Right.
Half an hour. Sweet. That pushes it over to 2 hours 15. Okay. Now we're over our 2 hour mark. What do we do?
Yeah.
Then we got to add in like the feedback we got from the last event. Just add more fun things to do. Okay, sweet.
Do you mean like giveaways and things?
Yeah, not the giveaways. So from KiwiRivals 2, we had a lot of feedback. But like, sweet, can you guys bring in something different? So like, okay, sweet. So we did the pie eating competition in KiwiRivals 3. So we brought that over, and that only lasted like for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But yet again, that's an extra 5-10 minutes added on to the stream time.
Already packed in.
Packed in. So it's quite challenging.
That's really challenging.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things you got to think about. A lot of things. It's not like, sweet, we want to play games for like we want to play these games and then just let the timer run out. It's like, okay. Depending on what time you start, what time you want to finish, you got to try squeeze everything in the time period that you've got and the time space that you've got. So there's a lot of thought and a lot of thinking around things and planning. It's a lot of planning.
How about it sounds like, how about like having more events, but like quicker turnaround, but smaller?
We have thought about that. We are still thinking about doing something like that. So we are thinking about doing bringing in like public holidays and stuff into it now. So we're like we'll do like Anzac. We are thinking about doing like a multi-week type thing, which would be quite cool, be quite fun. We also thinking about doing just Halloween as well. We were supposed to do a Halloween event.
You were supposed to.
Yeah. But it was just way too close. Like way too close. So we are thinking about doing other events besides KiwiRivals, but it's be still under the same name, same family. So it's just trying to figure out how we're going to do this, like how we're going to run it, if it's going to be KiwiRivals or if it's going to be a branch off from KiwiRivals. Yeah, so there are a lot of ideas that have been thrown around and we're like, okay, we can definitely work with it. It's just trying to find the time and the ideas and planning around it is the hardest thing, is to see if it can tie in or if it can't, or if it's worth our time or if it's not. So it's very hard.
Is there any content creator or streamer that you wanted to get on KiwiRivals and you haven't been able to?
So far, nah, not really.
Damn.
Yeah, not really. Like, because I tend to DM them. I just give them the biggest rundown. Like, I'm like, hey, my name's Liam, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, myself and Pope have created an event in New Zealand, first of its kind. It's called KiwiRivals. This is what it's all about. This is what you can expect, all this stuff. And they're like, sweet, I love it. Like, sounds fun. Like, I'm keen.
Yeah.
So I was quite stoked to reach out to Uncle Jack and for him to reply, be like, sweet, bro, sounds amazing. Like,
awesome.
Like, I'll love it. It's like, man, sweet. And then I reached out to Jackie Chan, reached out to him, and he was like, bro, that sounds mean as. Like, I'm so keen for this.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit. Like, okay, like crazy. And then all the other like little streamers and content creators and stuff coming up in New Zealand, I'm like, wow, like everyone's keen for this thing. Like, it's so nuts. And everyone's just so keen to get on board and just either hang out with everyone or check out the Playtech HQ or just anything. Like, people are just so keen for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so far, like, I do want a lot more people on, but for me to hit these guys up comfortably and for them to be like, okay, sweet, I'll be keen, is for us to grow and to get people around those certain creators and streamers to talk about it. Is the one thing that I want to try achieve, is to get the general public talking about it and other content creators talking about it. That's my goal.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, it definitely sounds like it's getting there. I mean, it's like only been 3 events and
three
it's
events
growing like crazy.
Yeah. 3 events and it's skyrocketing. So
yeah.
People are hyped for our last one. People are hyped for our next one. People want to compete, help out, do everything. Like, people are just so keen for it. So, and I'm very humbled by it. I'm so humbled by it.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think that people are so invested and keen to watch or even help out for something that, you know, yourself and either yourself or your business partner or both have created. And it's just like, so it brings me back down to earth. It's like, I'm so blessed. I'm so humbled by it.
Oh, that's amazing that you think like that. But I think a lot of credit goes to you as well, right? Even having that idea and reaching out to Pope.
Yeah.
And organizing the amount of effort and time you put in.
100%, you know. And for me, like, I'm in the mindset of, you know, you like, I don't want to sit back 20 years from now and be like, damn, what if I did that? Like, what if, or I wonder if I could have done that different. I'm in the mindset now is like, man, I want to do it. I don't want to look back and think if I could have done that differently. So ever since like last year, like, I got real sick and recovering from it, I'm like, I want to live. Like, I want to do everything I possibly humanly can and live with like no regrets at this stage. I want to throw all my ideas out into the world and just see what sticks. And yeah, me reaching out to Pope and just going nuts on it has it's definitely catched on. So that's the one thing that's sticked so far. Yeah, so I'm pretty stoked about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's so cool to hear.
Yeah, and having, you know, yet again, like a business partner and a friend to be on the same wavelength as you, same idea, same passion, same goal, is just the most craziest thing. Like, it's just fireworks and fire just emerges from it.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because we're lifting each other up when something happens, or we're hyping each other up, and yeah, it's good. And I'm yet again so humbled by it.
Yeah.
So humbled by it, and by everyone that kind of watches and contributes and helps and just kind of spreads the word about it and tunes in and watches it, supports us, and everything else is like, I'm just like so humbled by it.
Wow.
Yeah. Like,
that's so
cool. It's crazy. Like,
that's so cool.
Yeah.
As a you know, have a podcaster in New Zealand, like, it's so cool to hear that that's like what the content creator community is like in New Zealand.
Yeah. And just like the general public as well. Like, when we do these giveaways and I email them, and I'm like, you know, thanks for watching KiwiRivals. You know, I really appreciate your support. And they're like, nah, it was very fun to watch. Like, keep going.
So
like, I'm so keen for the next one.
Yeah.
And I get emails like that when I'm emailing all these giveaway winners, and I'm like, man, like, I'm so humbled by it. Like, I just don't believe it's real.
Right.
You know, I really don't. And yet again, I just can't take all the credit. Like, I'm like, nah, you know, it's all Pope's idea, or, you know, it's not just myself. Like, it's everyone that's helped. Like, everyone that's helped us, like, helped me make this thing. Like, it's not all me. It's everyone. So I can't take all of it. Like, I'd like to bring everyone else into it. Yeah.
Take your portion of it at least.
Yeah. Yeah. Like if someone's like, oh, you know, you did really good. It's like, oh, thanks. But it was everyone else as well. Like, it wasn't just me. Yeah. that's what I like to do. So
Yeah. Oh, good on you, Liam. Good
Yeah.
to hear that. Good to hear that. Liam, I got this like I got this segment called Cow Questions.
questions.
Cow questions.
Oh, cow.
Cow,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
It's a random as name, but it's like a bunch of random as questions. Before that, do you want to run to the bathroom or anything?
No, I'm all good.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
'Cause,
100.
Do you mind if I went?
Yeah,
real
can I,
quick?
yeah. Can I have a?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Awesome.
Well,
We're back, folks. We're back. Every podcast so far, I've had to have a bathroom break.
oh, you have to.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you have, especially if you go on, like if you're talking for like hours, like you have to have a break.
This is a long form podcast. You
Yeah.
know, like I need a break.
Yeah, that's good.
Do you listen to podcasts much or?
Sometimes, yeah. If I find something really interesting, I'll be like, okay, sweet, I want to listen to it. Like Icon. So I listen to his podcast because he has on like content creators and stuff that I know.
Oh, Iconic Chaos.
Iconic, yeah. Iconic Chaos.
Surely not podcast.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
right. Surely not podcast.
Yeah. So I watched that. I listened to the one that he did recently with Yerix Grizzly.
Ah, yeah.
So I watched it. Yeah, I listened to that one, and
There
it
was
was pretty
only
cool.
like a couple of days ago that was released. That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then then I listened to the one that he had with Twisted Little Red.
Yeah.
I listened to Carvy's one that that she did with Pope as well. So I listened to that one. I just listened to pretty much all the like content creators and streamers and all that kind of stuff that people been invited to and stuff. And I just like to listen to it and support it. So,
Yeah. I because for me it's been Iconic Chaos's podcast that I've been listening to.
Yeah.
But yeah, not good to see that there's other podcasts that
Yeah.
there is too. And
Yeah, big time. Yeah, I think a good one to listen to, I reckon, is the Level Up, and that's with Carvey and her friend. Yeah, so I'd definitely recommend that one as well. Yeah,
Oh, looking forward to jumping into it.
yeah.
Speaking of jumping into it, I've got a segment called Cow Questions.
Cow
Liam.
Questions.
I
Okay,
started
right.
it in my last episode.
Okay, cool.
So
cool,
Cow
cool.
Questions, the way just the name of it came about is we had this board game called Cow Questions.
Okay.
I think it was called Cow Game or something.
Yeah.
Random as you open it up, there's like a pink cow.
Okay.
And you have a bunch of these questions. And the way the game works is you draw a card and each card has a question. So
Okay.
for example, like, what is your favorite color?
Oh, okay.
And then everyone says like, oh, mine's blue. And, blue is quite a common favorite color, right? What's your favorite color, Liam?
Green.
Green?
Green.
Green, some other people might say green.
Yeah.
And then if someone says like purple, and if you're the kind of the odd one out,
Yeah.
you get the cow.
Okay.
Yeah, that's basically the gist of the game. But it's a very family friendly game.
Okay,
too,
okay,
so,
yeah,
So
yeah,
you get
yeah,
questions like
I'm vibing it.
you get questions like, what's your favorite color?
Yeah.
What's your favorite dinosaur?
Okay.
What's your favorite like childhood toy? Very
Yeah.
cute questions. So there was we bought that as a flat last year,
Okay, cool.
and as grown up adults, we're like. Okay, it's cute,
Yeah.
but let's spice things up a bit.
Okay.
So we stopped using that. but we still use the cow. But
Okay.
we will write down our own questions.
Okay.
So it will be like a bit more like spicy in different directions.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Rad,
Yeah.
rad.
So since then, me and my friends we play this game called Cow Questions, where we will write down questions and we'll just each ask. We will all answer it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it would be fun to do
Okay.
that with some
Yeah.
guests. So yeah. So as an example, first cow question. So the question is very, very kind of like this.
Mm-hmm.
What is the quality you admire the most in the person you dislike the most?
Oh, wow.
It's like this kind of question.
Yeah. So what is the quality that I like
The most
the most?
in the person you dislike the most.
most.
You can learn from something from everyone,
Yeah, 100%. I think the quality I like the most is from the person I dislike the most is how what's the word? Like they can go up to random people and just have a yarn and instantly make friends. Like I like that quality, and it comes from the person I dislike the most. So just being so upfront, energetic, and talkative, and not being shy, like just talking to random people, just, you know, if it's out in town and asking for a lighter or just chatting with random people, I'm just like, man, I wish I could do that. I really do.
Really? But I feel like you can do that, Liam.
I can't. I'm a very shy person.
Really?
In large numbers, I'm a very, very shy person. Like, I kind of tend to shut in, and I'm like, man, I don't know anyone here. Like, no one's talking to me. Like, I don't know what to do or say. Like, I'm just get really shy and awkward.
Oh, you weren't like that at Armageddon, though.
Yeah, because I knew a handful of people.
Yeah.
So I was with Alice in Zombieland. I was with Dakodu. I was with Jetstar. So I knew those guys. And then obviously Pope was there. So I knew Pope. Hung out with him for a bit. Now I saw Yerix Grizzly. Saw him, main sweet. And then obviously Uncle Jack was at our event last night.
Yeah.
So, you know, I caught up with him. So it was quite easy to kind of mingle around that type. But if it's like a big group of random people that I genuinely don't know, I'm like, nah. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I know, the person that I dislike is like, they can just walk straight up.
Do that, yeah.
And boom, straight into it. So I'm like, man, I wish I could do that, but I can't.
Something to learn from.
Yeah.
Practice.
Huge.
Yeah.
But, it's practice. Super nerve wracking.
Yeah.
Super nerve wracking because I'm like, no way I can.
But that's how you start, you know, it's like, hello.
Straight
you know,
up.
that's how you start, hello. I'm Liam.
Yeah.
You have to start somewhere. You're not going to be like that person straight away.
Yeah.
That's how that person started.
I know. But some people just instantly like just know how to do it. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
You know, I just can't.
Sure. But that's funny because like KiwiRivals, I feel like that's how you started. Like messaging random people, streaming NZ too.
Yeah, like it's so different though. Like,
do you mean like because I'm on the phone?
I'm on the phone.
Right.
I'm on the phone. But if it's like in person, I'm like, nah, I can't.
But even then, you are messaging to meet up in person.
Yeah. So I guess it's like, I actually had one, I was nervous, don't get me wrong, but I had one person that I invited and I knew, which is, his name was Jetstar. So I knew him through work years and years ago when I was like 17. And I was like messaging him. I was like, bro, you know, all these people are keen, but I'm like super nervous. Like, what do I do? And he was like, bro, like, you know, you've got Cat City coming. You've got Alice in Zombieland coming. Like, I watch these guys. Like, you should be stoked and happy that these guys are coming to meet up and just have a drink and play games and just chill out. I'm like, yeah, but like, fuck. I still get nervous meeting, like, just like random content creators and streamers. Like, to this day, I still am. Yeah. Until I have like a bit of liquid courage and then I'm all sweet. Like, yeah, like that's
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's a very. I love the cow questions because it really shows different sides of people.
Yeah.
You know? And that's something that I thought the opposite.
Yeah.
And second question: what was the most recent thing that made you cry?
Man, that is a good question. The most recent. I think for me, it would have been. Man, that's a good one. For me personally, I tend to like, I cry quite a bit.
Yeah.
So when things get too hard because I'm the type of person that will bottle stuff in. Super unhealthy.
Not advised.
Yeah, I would definitely don't recommend doing that. Just I think it's a big cluster of things, you know, like, but to genuine, like for me to like full on cry, I think it was when I got really, really sick. That was like the last time I think I properly bawled my eyes out. Yeah.
Do you cry at movies or listening to music at all?
Yeah, but okay. Like if we're talking like that, then like, movies, 100%.
Oh yeah,
I think like not last night, but the night before, I was watching anime and like something really emotional happened, and I was just like, oh man, crazy.
Is it we
teared up.
Yeah.
Which anime was it?
Or is it the witch and the
yeah. So I've not a couple of nights ago. Sorry, it was last night. I teared up a bit.
True.
Yeah. Had to wipe my eyes a bit.
Yeah, that counts.
Yeah. Okay, man.
What are the books /anime/movies/games that never get old. And
Halo series, 100%. I'll always jump back onto it if I can't find a game that I enjoy.
Yeah,
boom, straight jump back into Halo.
Okay, that's quick.
Yeah,
quick answer.
Anime, I would go either Attack on Titan.
Oh heck yes.
Yeah. Attack on Titan, My Hero Academia, Tokyo Ghoul. Yeah, that's my picks.
Yeah.
That's something that I would just never get sick of.
Death Note?
I couldn't really get into Death Note.
Really?
Nah, I watched like 4 episodes and I was just like, man, I can't.
Oh, why not?
I'm not too sure. I think it just didn't hook me in. Like, you know how anime is like, if you watch it and it'll just instantly hook you in and you're like, sweet, I want to watch it. But then some, you're like, it's not really my genre or cup of tea. So then you just jump onto the next one. And that's what I kind of had with Death Note.
Right.
Yeah. I got into like Naruto, like heavy. Like Naruto hooked me in instantly. Yeah. I was like, man, sweet, I'm watching it. And I watched all the way through like from Naruto to like Naruto Shippuden. Like just non-stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went on the biggest binge.
Boruto?
Nah, I can't. I only
I like how you pretend to think about it.
Yeah, I watch Boruto for the Naruto scenes.
True.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm one of those guys, but like, I watch Boruto for the Naruto scenes.
What's the general feeling for Boruto among Naruto fans? Is it accepting or is it?
From what I've seen, like Boruto isn't. Like, because it's crazy because like, you know, Naruto was amazing.
Yeah.
Naruto Shippuden, you know, it ended amazing.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Legendary. Iconic.
Legendary. And then coming in with Boruto.
Yeah. Big shoes to fill.
Big, massive.
Huge.
Massive, huge.
Hokage size.
Yeah. Hokage size.
Hokage size.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, it just flopped. Like, I guess the story just wasn't there. Like, it wasn't, like, there was just really nothing going on. Like, it just felt like fillers in a way. But then it kind of dabbles and gets bigger and bigger into the story. But by the time that happens, the fan base has kind of dropped off already.
Right.
And then Boruto takes a lot of heat for it.
Yeah.
And then now I think they've just announced a new series after Boruto.
Okay.
Is Saruto. No idea what it's about, but it's like, guys, you sure that's like the best move to make or what? Yeah. Like Boruto now is starting to pick up. It's done like a big time skip. So when you watch it, you see Boruto scrapping out. I think his name is Kawaki. I can't really say his name, but you see those two scrapping it out in the destroyed Hidden Leaf village, and you're like, okay. This could be a main series, main anime. But then it does another time skip back to when he was young, and then it's like, man, fuck. Okay. And you have to drag yourself through like 4 seasons or something of it, 2-3 seasons of it, and it's just like, where's the time skip?
Yeah.
Like, where's the first like 10 seconds I saw? Like, where's that? I want to see this. Like, Naruto's disappeared. Sasuke, no idea where he is. The Hidden Leaf is completely destroyed. Like, I want this. Like, this is like wicked. But then you don't get it till the ages.
They make you work for it.
They make you work for it. And then, some people just weren't happy about it.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, no, I'm a moderate Naruto fan. Yeah. But I started reading, because I read Naruto.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Nice.
And Boruto, I couldn't really get into it. For me, it was like Naruto, they had... I think
they did him dirty, man.
Yeah, I think the issue for me was like Naruto at the end, like there's so much at stake.
Yeah.
And since then, I'm like, how can they top this, you know?
Yeah. Big time. Like they had, it was just the whole leading up to the big war arc with like Madara, Obito. The big reveal of that is just like, man.
And the tension between Naruto and Sasuke
too. 100%. It was... crazy stuff. And then, with the fight with Naruto and Pain. Yeah. Like, Pain's my favorite villain. Like, I would say he's my favorite character. It's either Pain or Obito.
Okay. So sick.
Bro. Absolutely powerhouse. And then, it's like, sweet. It leads up to something huge.
Yeah.
And Boruto is just like, like, where's the lead up at the moment? Like, it's just kind of the same thing at the moment.
True.
Yeah.
But no Death Note.
No Death Note.
No Death Note.
No Death Note.
What is your favorite quote, and where did you hear it?
Quote. I have to bust out my phone.
Oh, you got it written down. Or...
Oh, I heard it. It was at the end of. It's like a. Hold up. Okay. It was really good. And I actually wanted to get it like tattooed on me.
Oh.
It's like. Oh man, this is gonna drive me nuts if I don't find it. Oh man, I've got. Come on. Okay, we'll come back to this one until we find it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it at the end of like a series or something?
It was at the end of a movie. It's where it's got Hugh Jackman in it.
Okay.
And it's kind of The Greatest Showman.
Oh yeah.
That's what it's called. So now I go. I just have to Google it. Like,
do it. And for the folks that's listening or watching, you have a guess at what this quote is?
It's right at the end, like right at the
Right
end.
at the end?
Right at the end credits.
If you get it, then message me. I'll give you chocolate. Give you some chocolate.
I think it's.
Great movie, by the way.
Oh,
I love the movie.
it was. Have you seen it?
I've seen it.
Yeah, nice.
I know some people don't like. It was musical, right?
Yeah.
I'm remembering correct that.
Yeah, I personally don't like musicals.
Okay.
But my partner got me into it. Like, she was like, "No, you'll enjoy it. It's really good." So I was like, "Don't really like musicals though, but all right."
Give it a go.
Yeah.
And you liked it?
Yeah, I loved it.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I got it here. So the noblest art is that of making others happy.
Damn.
Yeah. And that's something that's kind of stuck by me now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the noblest art is that of making others happy. So I like making other people happy. And when I do that, I just feel accomplished. You know, I'm like amazed. Like, yeah. Something just warm inside happens when I make others feel happy.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it the noblest art is making others happy?
Yeah.
Damn, that's cool. There will be a cool tattoo.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, I want to get that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why. It just clicked with me. I was like, that's actually really cool. Like, yeah.
Have you watched it recently? Or
I watched it like late last year.
late last year?
Yeah.
Have you thought about getting that tattooed seriously?
Yeah.
Where do you reckon? Like,
maybe like on the ribs or something.
Yeah. Because you have a few tattoos, Liam.
Yeah. I love it. They're addictive.
Yeah.
They are super addictive.
For sure.
So if you ever get your first one, just be prepared to have like another 8 lined up.
I've got one on my thigh, on my left
nice.
thigh.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't know it because I don't. It's like quite high up on my thigh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got like a tiger head.
Nice.
Yeah, but I'm definitely keen for another.
Yeah. I really want to get another one done. It's just kind of figuring out where to put it.
Right.
Like I really I want to get both of my knees done.
Okay.
But for me, I'm just kind of like hyping myself up for it because I know it's going to suck. Like, because I got the side of my knee done, and that was just the most horrendous thing I've ever experienced.
Because I saw like a bird tattoo. Is it new?
That one is probably about 2 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
It looks really fresh.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you wear long pants.
And not get sun exposure.
Not get sun exposure. Yeah. But yeah, that one. I think the most recent one I've got is the cherry scales on top of my knee.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's sick.
Yeah.
That's sick. Well, how do you get them? Do you go for like meaning, or do you go for like design and looks, or
a bit of both? So my right arm is all meaning. And then pretty much everything else on my body is just either random or random. Like,
just looks cool.
Just looks cool.
Yeah.
Either flash days or something, or I just saw a picture and I was like,
True.
that's it.
Yeah.
And then just go from there.
Yeah. No, I'm the same. I saw this cool artist. So she used to work. I don't know if she does because this was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I got mine from Black Cat Tattoo Studio.
Okay.
It's in Kingsland.
Yeah.
And the tattoo artist was Erica Tattooer.
Okay.
Just throwing it out there for folk that are interesting. But it's super cool. She does like an old school design.
Yeah. Oh, rad. Cool.
Yeah, so it's super cool. Question number 5. What is a conspiracy theory you believe to be true? Hit me with it. Or maybe you are not a conspiracy theorist.
Nah, I'm not, but I do like to believe Mark Zuckerberg's a lizard personality.
It's fun. They'll be fun. I don't know, it'll blow my mind.
Yeah. Well, just the way that he acts and talks and everything.
It's hard not to think.
Yeah, man, are you actually human, bro?
Honestly,
come on, dude. But I'm not more of a conspiracy type of dude.
You're not.
Nah. But I do like the Mark Zuckerberg's a lizard type.
True,
yeah.
True. What do you think about aliens?
Aliens, I think. Oh man, I would love to believe that they are true, 100%. But if aliens were to arrive on Earth and show a presence and all that kind of stuff, they would have done it by now.
Yeah.
For them to travel light years and to stop off at a random planet, make a presence known, and then leave, surely they would have done it by now.
Interesting.
You see videos and stuff online, and it's man, how true is that? Some people are good at editing now, and it's quite hard. But for them, if they were to make a presence, I reckon they wouldn't have flown around at night, and some random dude with a Nokia 2005 flip phone camcorder was oh my god, and you can't really see anything, but. For them to make a true appearance and to make the world known that alien life does exist, I reckon they would have done it by now.
So you reckon the government doesn't really have anything secret they're hiding or anything like that in terms of alien life forms?
Nah, yet again, it's basically if aliens did land here and we kept them captive, surely their own kind and race would have came by now and was what the fuck?
Yeah.
Release them right now.
True. That's true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah. It's basically if someone was held hostage or someone was kidnapped, you have the whole police force coming.
Yeah.
And okay, sweet. These 2 aliens landed on Earth and they've got this most advanced ship that anyone's ever seen.
Yeah.
They could travel light years. It's man, I'm pretty sure an entire planet and race would not let that slide.
That's true. That is true, yeah. Because I think one of the most convincing story I've heard is by this guy called Bob Lazar. Have you heard of him? So Bob Lazar, he used to work at this place around Area 51. So by the way, this is him claiming that he did.
Oh, okay, right.
And then he backs up with it with evidence and and so on. But this guy used to be I think some kind of engineer. So what he claims is that he used to work near Area 51, and he was hired to reverse engineer an alien craft.
Okay.
And he wasn't explicitly told that it was an alien craft,
right?
But it looked very similar to the typical alien craft that we know.
Okay.
And he saw these kind of technology and movements that wasn't possible at that time.
Yeah.
And as far as the story goes, so he's been on Joe Rogan podcast. And
okay. Buzzy.
Yeah.
Buzzy.
It's really interesting, and it's kind of as convincing alien story I've heard.
Right.
And to me, it's kind of I think, I definitely believe what you say, and that's kind of my logic, and every other instinct is telling me.
Yeah.
But on little side of me thinks, then what is this story told by Bob Lazar is like?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always there, but it's a big debate.
It is. It's huge. It's huge. I would love to think it's real.
Yeah. You want it to be real?
I want it. I want it to be, because the universe is so massive, right? We might go on a Joe Rogan rant now, but the universe is so huge. We cannot be the only ones that exist in it, right?
I wonder.
There are millions and millions of planets. We cannot be the only one that's in the correct spot in the sun to have life forms. We are not. Like there has to be something else out there.
And if you think about fourth dimension too, if there's a being that can travel in time, then the universe is even that much larger.
It's even that much larger. 100%. And if something like that did exist, like surely we would have seen something by now.
Yeah.
So I'm still like having hope. Like one day, hopefully after when I'm like 70 years old and I'm in like my retirement bed or something, and I flick on the news and it's like, boom, aliens have arrived. I'm like, yes.
Would you have the alien on KiwiRivals?
if he doesn't get like, you know, blown away or anything, then like, yeah, sure. If he can step foot and breathe out air, then yeah, maybe. Like, who knows?
Or is KiwiRivals? Do you have to be a Kiwi to join in KiwiRivals or?
Nah, like we want to support any content creator and streamer that is growing in New Zealand.
But you have to be growing in New Zealand.
Yeah, like we do want to we want to branch out and get overseas talent into New Zealand and then make them verse our talent.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So that's what we want to do. Like that's our end game. Like that's what we want to do is bring all these like bigger creators around the world and then bring them to New Zealand, show them what New Zealand's made of, and then make them verse our content creators and streamers here. Yeah, that's what we want to do.
Yeah. So it would be like aliens versus intergalactic rivals, you know?
Universe rivals.
Universe rivals.
Yeah, you just never know.
Yeah. That would be cool. That would be really cool. Imagine the views you get.
Oh, dude.
You know?
Just got to wait until aliens like come. And then,
yeah,
we can start planning something. Who knows?
If you're listening to this, aliens, you know, and you're going to jump on content that, you know, my podcast and, you know, KiwiRivals. Great place to start. Great place to start.
100%.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Okay, question number 6. When was the last time you tried something new? What was it? Did you enjoy it?
Ooh. When was the last time I tried something new? Man. I can't think of anything. When was the last time? No, I can't think of anything.
New game, new anime?
Oh, okay. New game. Man, I can't think of anything. Yeah.
Okay. Are you more of a stick to
what I know?
What works
for me. Yeah.
Okay. What activity makes you lose track of time?
Gaming.
True.
Gaming.
That's a big one, eh?
Yeah, huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Like, I'll jump on games, you know, do my morning routine, have a coffee, brush my teeth, blah, 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 blah. Then I'll jump on about like 11 o'clock in the morning. By the time I know it, it's like 6 p.m. And it's like, oh, snap. Okay, well, there goes my Saturday. There goes my Sunday. Oopsie daisy. Yeah, that's gaming. Gaming is definitely by far the worst.
Done that.
Yeah. Even if you jump on, you're like, sweet, I'm going to play for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Boom. 8 hours later. It's like, oops.
That must be the same with KiwiRival streams too.
Yeah, 100%.
Like 2 hours would go by like 5
2
minutes.
hours goes by like just a flick of like a snap.
Yeah.
It's boom, done. Yeah. It's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. Because you're just having so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Where am I? Oh yeah, that's question 7. Question 8. Have you discovered anything about yourself in the past year? You've done a lot.
Yeah. In the past year, I have. Just taking everything on board and kind of like I guess I do quite well under like high stress, and with so much going on, I can handle myself with it. And that's something that I've kind of learned how to deal with now, like, and just to grow and just take everything on board and adapt to the environment on what's going on. Like if I've got like 20 things I need to do there and I've got 40 things that I need to do there, and I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? I've learned myself how to grow and adapt and kind of take things slow and kind of actually get through it. Back then, I'd just stress out and freak out and be like, oh my God, my life's over. But now I'm just kind of like, sweet, I can adapt to it.
Yeah. Great skill to have.
Oh yeah. If you're thinking about getting into like the event scene and all that type of stuff, you have to have something like that. For because anything was just going to stress you out, because you are dealing with everything. Like you're dealing with promo, you're dealing with marketing, you're dealing with photos. Who's going to do the photos? Who's going to do the DJ? You got to organize this. You got to organize that. And then once you do everything, then you get a reply back from everyone.
Yeah.
And then from there, now you got to reply everything back, and then it comes back, and you just have to learn how to adapt, grow, and just kind of evolve into what you're doing.
And the uncertainty too, like you say, like people pull out. What are you gonna do then?
Yeah. So it's just something that comes with territory. Like after you've done your first one, you're like, okay, like you've adapted. Like as long as you're better, as long as like you're the better version of yourself than what you were yesterday, then you can easily overcome and just keep going. Yeah.
Tattoo that too, Lee.
That's one skill that I think I've picked up, like myself.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What question 9? What immediately makes you think highly of someone?
Thinks highly of someone. The way that they present themselves, talk. I guess I don't know. It's very. I would like to know someone on like a personal level before I start to judge anyone. You know, I can't judge anyone straight off the bat.
Yeah,
it's very hard. I personally don't like doing it. I guess I just have to know them first before I can do anything. But yeah,
that's a good trait because I think I'm pretty bad at that. I feel like one of the things that I can improve on is being too quick, not being too quick on judging.
Yeah.
Because I find myself doing that often. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm 99.99% wrong, you know?
Yeah.
Whether it's good or bad, you know?
Yeah. And for like, if I was, for example, to judge someone and I'm like, oh, whatever. And then like my friend or something comes up to me and they're like, dude, you've got the wrong idea about them. You know, they've been through that. They've been through this. They've done that. They've achieved this. And it's like, oh, and then it makes you look like a So I like to personally know them on like a personal level before I start to throw anything towards them.
Wise call. Question 10, is there anyone you envy? What is it about them that you envy?
Man, these questions are
insane. It makes you think, you know?
These are crazy. These are crazy. Anyone that I envy. That's like jealous, eh?
It's a little bit different to jealous. Jealous is more like you would feel that if you think they are taking your place.
Right.
So envy is more like, oh, I it's so cool that that person has that. I wish I also had that.
Okay, yeah. Fuck, that's a hard one.
Yeah,
that's a hard one.
And you might not have anyone that you envy as well.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything. I can't. Yeah, because
it's all good.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, I mean that's probably could be a good thing, you know. Yeah,
I would say in regards to that sense, like maybe my business partner Pope.
You were saying before, you look up to him a lot.
Yeah, big time. You know, because you know he does content full time. Super busy all the time, but then yet again he's got a family that he looks after and supports and loves and stuff. So I guess, I'd say I'm pretty envy of that.
Yeah,
yeah,
and then KiwiRivals too.
100%.
That's fair. What is the most? Oh, it's kind of similar to what we were talking about before. Okay, last question. If you were to change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be?
Man, I don't think I'll change anything.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like, because if I was to change something, who knows? Like, I probably wouldn't be here.
It's true.
You know, and I'm super humbled, super blessed to actually be here talking to you, meeting everyone that I've met in my life. is all due to my upbringing and where I was brought up and how I was raised and all that stuff. So I don't think I would change anything, because if I did, then I probably wouldn't have met you. I probably wouldn't have started streaming. I probably wouldn't have met my mates. I probably wouldn't have met the friends that I've made now. Like, who knows? Who knows? It's like a butterfly effect, you know?
Yeah.
So if I was to change a certain way that I was raised, then it's like, man, I pretty much put everything that I've worked so hard to make and do now, that's like, you'll probably lose like 20 friends if you did that. So yeah, I wouldn't change anything. True. Like, even though it was pretty hard and pretty rough, I just wouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
Because it's made me and molded me into the way that I am now. So
it's probably a good mindset to have, instead of, I wish I was born in a richer family, or like, you know what I mean, like better neighborhood. It's easy to think that, because you'll be more comfortable.
Literally is, 100%. Like, for me, like, I was born and raised in Papakura. And man, like, if you know Auckland and you know Papakura, like, you know that's not the best place to grow up. And, you know, my family wasn't really, like, love my family 100%, but, you know, it wasn't the best. And yeah, I just wouldn't change anything, because that type of scene and scenario made me into the better person that I am now. Because I would look at the people I was being brought up around and all this stuff, and it just made me think, I'm like, man, I want to be better than you one day. Right. You know, I want to be happier. I want to be positive. I want to do everything. True. I just want to be better than the people that I was brought up around. And yeah, that's what I want to do and achieve. Yeah. And I just look at everything like it's sun and rainbows. Like, I'm never negative, never down. Okay. Because I was always around it, and I just didn't like it. So I wouldn't change anything.
That's so interesting. It works like that, because a lot of times as well, it goes the other way, because you were brought up negative, because you were brought up down. You know, a lot of people tend to be that. Yeah,
it's dependent on the person. Like, for myself, like, it is very hard to get out. Like, don't get me wrong, very hard. But you just got to have that willpower, and you just got to kind of look and just be like, okay, I want better for me. Like, just because my parents and stuff were brought up, or they chose that lifestyle, doesn't mean I have to. I'm my own person. I can do that. I can do whatever I want.
For sure.
But so it's very hard though.
It's very hard.
Very difficult. Very difficult. And yeah, I just looked at what I was surrounded with, and I was just like, nah, I want to be better.
Yeah.
I want to be better. And I made it my personal goal to do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Yeah, thanks.
But it takes a lot of work, right? I imagine.
It takes a lot of work, a lot of emotional damage. Yeah. Like, a lot, because, you know, you have to cut out certain members and stuff, and it's very hard. But if it's going to do what's best for you and make you happy as an individual, then, man, it's sacrifices have to be made, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can always come back and mend it, but as long as you are comfortable and happy with the position that you're in now. Yeah.
Well, before we finish off, Liam, I've got one more segment, right?
Brad.
I keep hitting you with segments. So this is another segment that I started doing from the last episode. Have you heard of that phrase, your eyes are like the window to your soul?
Yeah.
Well, it's actually a lie.
Okay.
The window to your soul is your phone notes.
Okay.
Are you comfortable sharing your phone notes with me?
Dude, you're not going to find anything interesting in these ones, eh?
We'll see, dude. We'll see. There you go. But yeah, feel free to delete like the bank account numbers and things.
Oh, dude, I've got no bank account numbers, dude.
Okay.
It's just basically all work. I have a bit of KiwiRivals stuff in there and Streamin NZ stuff.
I definitely don't read out anything that might be sensitive.
That's all my plumbing notes and...
Right. Yeah. So... yeah, seeing from yesterday. So you had a note yesterday.
Yeah.
The title of it is Specs.
Yeah, it's like shower specs and hot water cylinder heights and all this other stuff.
Right. Yeah. So they're work-related.
Work-related, yeah.
Okay. Previous 7 days. I think work-related as well. It says the title of it is Camp Road.
It's all work-related.
All work-related, okay. Previous 30 days. One Waters vent.
Yeah. That's what I smacked down on my phone, just work notes.
Yeah?
Yeah, some of it may be KiwiRivals stuff, but
right.
other than that, it's just like work.
True. September, I think, also work-related.
Yeah.
August. Okay. It's got a bunch of numbers. The titles, The title is likes, and it's got a bunch of numbers.
I can have a look.
The top one.
Ooh, what's that one?
What is that?
That is my analytics for KiwiRivals.
Yeah.
So we took all the likes from all of our social media posts. So we took all the likes from Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff, and then we just pretty much combined it all.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what we use to send off to sponsors and stuff.
Yeah.
So we combined everything: watch time, likes, everything.
Right.
Everything.
Yeah. They will take time too.
It does, because you got to go through every single post that you've done, gather all the views and watch times and likes and stuff from each individual post that you made up until now, combine them and send them off.
Is there a service that does that?
I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
I've just done it manually. I don't mind it. I don't mind doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, because it makes me dive deeper into what I'm actually doing.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. June, bit of work notes as well as KiwiRivals
Yeah.
with a streamer name on it.
Dakodu. Yeah.
Yeah. So is that like KiwiRivals kind of participants?
Yeah. So she was our winner for our second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Valorant.
That was the list. Yeah. That was the list for KiwiRivals too.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, May. 1 year anniversary.
I think that was for our Streamin NZ 1 year anniversary.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking with your missus, you know. Is that in May with your missus?
No, I don't know. Wait, hold up. 1 year anniversary.
Oh, did I?
No.
Streamin NZ.
You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Streamin NZ. Damn, almost got me in trouble. Damn.
March. Okay, this is interesting.
I think we're heading into like my D&D section now.
So the first one in March is 4:15 p.m. Twitch streamers will arrive. So it really looks like all the schedule for the...
Yeah, so we have to do a schedule.
Can I click into it?
Yeah, go nuts. 4:15.
See how... Whoa, that's a big list. It's a big list.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Okay. Folks, that's just listening to it. I mean, I'm not showing it, but it's got a list of things happening at 4:15, 5 p.m., start of stream, 10-minute countdown till start. So you restart. So what are these notes?
So we smacked down notes, and this is from our first event. So we have to give a pretty much like a run sheet, a runtime on everything. So you got to pretty much put the time on when everyone's going to arrive. So 4:15, then the 5 p.m. event will start. Then from the 5 p.m., you're going to have... It's basically writing a script for a movie.
Right.
So you're just going to be like, okay, sweet. Ray in the City will say this, that. The other co-host will say this, that. Then hopefully by the time it finishes, it's 5:15 to 5:30.
Yeah.
Then we kick off playing the game.
Right.
And then hopefully 6:15, 6:30, the game will stop. Then we go into the interviews. Yeah, when did you start streaming? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Then we write down little interview questions, and then the hosts can come up with their own questions or take questions from the chat.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of builds up from there, and you just pretty much write all your times down. And
Smoko.
Yeah. So it's crazy. Like the amount of time, effort, and everything else that goes into it is just...
Bro,
you got to write down time
honestly.
schedules.
I can tell. So is there like a script for each time?
Yeah.
That what you will read out kind of thing?
So once it reaches we'll stick to the notes as best as we can. So once it hits for example, 8:30, then you're like, okay, DJ set's going to start. But we'd look at it 15 minutes prior and be like, okay, 8:30 is coming up. The DJ's going to start. We should start wrapping things up, kind of wind it down for a bit. Then we'll kind of wind it down up until 8:30. If it goes a little bit over 8:30, that's fine. But as soon as we see 8:30 and there's a specific thing that we are supposed to do, then we'll do it.
Yeah.
So we try stick to this thing as best as we can.
Yeah.
And with each time slot, there's something going on in it.
Yeah. Man, it's so cool because I feel like I'm living in it. I can see why this would be stressful because you hit 8:30 and you're still behind schedule.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can see it being stressful.
Yeah, so that's one thing I do need to pick up on is sticking to this time schedule that either myself or Alice in Zombieland have made. So we're like, let's stick to it.
But with 20 other people, it's not easy.
It's not.
It's not easy.
It's not. It's really not. It's crazy. But yeah, we do tend to try to stick to this time schedule.
Yeah.
And if we are like, for example, an hour over our time, then we'll be like, okay, sweet. What do we have next? Like, what's next up? Then it's like I don't know, like 2 interviews for people, and we're like, okay, these interviews could probably go on for like 10 minutes. Okay, let's cut it. Let's don't do the interviews now.
Right.
We'll cut it and we'll save it to the end. So we'll cut it and we'll bring back the time a bit, and then we'll keep cutting things until the time kind of hopefully lines up.
Yeah.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
But really acting on your toes, like you're being on your toes like the whole time.
All the time.
All the time.
All the time. Yeah.
Man,
so it is pretty crazy.
Cool. That's cool. And the rest, and the rest of it is
20.
Yeah, streaming and that Twitch battle. Is that the first kind of the brainstorming idea?
Where was the Twitch battle?
2022?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
so is that like your like a so it looks like you've like written like an email introducing yourself and then damn.
It's crazy. I haven't even looked at those notes in such a long time, so I have no idea what's in there.
But even just going through it, I can tell like, it's got like events set up and people you messaged, and if they agreed, it's got like a green text next to them, and wow. Yeah, this goes to show like a bit of like insight into what went behind it. Really.
It's a lot of time and work that pumps into this thing.
And because the one right after is streamers and who you messaged and if they replied, not replied.
Yeah.
The next one is exciting. Podcast ideas. Can I go into it? Can I go into that?
Yeah.
Podcast ideas topics.
Into it. Yeah.
Can I read? Or can I read some of it? Or is it secret?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, this was 2022.
Okay, 2022.
Zonks ago.
Topics: NFTs and metaverse.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts? Would you buy into them? And then the next one is Twitch streaming, video gaming community. Oh, so some of it like you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you had Korean pop culture.
Yeah. Because that's, I think now Korean pop culture is starting to take off. Like it's starting to take over the world.
Yeah.
It's so big now. It's quite cool actually. But yeah.
Oh, well, let me know if you do that because I'm Korean, Liam. Yeah. So, I'm happy to, actually, I'm very out of touch with Korean pop culture, but I'm happy to chime in from like, like coming from Korea perspective.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Cool. Yeah. Oh, that's fun. And rest of it, Melissa.
Yeah, that's heading into my D&D,
okay.
D&D notes and stuff, yeah.
True. Yeah, D&D notes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's looking into your soul a little bit there, Liam.
Well, yeah, you saw work and then you saw outside of work, so...
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Well, it's been awesome having you, Liam.
Oh, it's been amazing. It's been amazing.
So much fun.
Yeah.
And KiwiRivals, obviously, big event.
Yeah.
And it's been awesome hearing about like where the hem do you even start working on that? Where do you even start?
Yeah. Oh man, you just have an idea and you just run with it and see what happens. That's basically where you start.
And you did it and it's working out great. It's worked out great. And I think it's obviously got really bright future to it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no, it sounds like I feel like it's got like really good vibe to it. The I guess the vision, like you said, behind it and the reason for that vision, where it came from. It's something that I think, even if you're not a streamer, if you're not into watching games or streaming, I feel like that's something that a lot of people can get behind. So
yeah, that's what we're hoping. And, I'm really, thankful for you saying that because, any positive thing that I get towards KiwiRivals just makes me want to do better.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to let anyone down. And, you hear, like, you saying that, I'm just like, okay, like, I need to do better now. Like, I want to keep going.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Yeah, I think you deserve a lot of credit too. I'm hoping you give yourself enough credit for that. Yeah. And break.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, break seasons now. So, you know, we're wrapped up for the year. So I got a nice little break until
That's good.
January. So I'm pretty happy about that.
That's
so
good.
I don't have to think about it for a wee while. So I'm pretty stoked.
Before we finish off, do you want to throw out like the socials and things? Is it just KiwiRivals on Instagram?
Yeah. So it's KiwiRivals on Instagram. You can just check us out. It's just KiwiRivals. We stream off the Streamin NZ account on Twitch. So it's just Streamin _NZ. And you can catch all of our KiwiRivals live stuff on that. If you want to watch back on KiwiRivals 1, 2, and 3 and just see how it grows, we are on YouTube under Streamin _NZ as well. And you can catch our last 2 live, KiwiRivals 2 and 3 on that as well.
KiwiRivals 1 isn't on that?
1 is not on that. No.
What happened?
We didn't click to save VOD.
Okay.
So we live streamed it.
Right.
As soon as we ended live stream, the video didn't save.
Yeah.
And then the VOD wasn't uploaded to Twitch. So we had no video or evidence of streaming it.
They would have broken my heart.
It was devastating.
Yeah.
It was devastating waking up. And I was like, man, like, what went wrong?
Yeah.
What went wrong? And heading into our second one, we were like, we have to make sure the VODs are turned on. We hit the record button, so it's recording in the computer itself as well. We had like 3 different types of recordings going onto the second one. Like we just had to make it work. We had to make it work, and it worked. So it was sweet.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
And when's the next KiwiRivals?
We're hoping to do it in like January, maybe January, February.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very soon.
Very soon. So
Very soon.
we are taking a bit of a break. You know, Christmas is next month.
I guess.
Yeah. So it's just kind of, January, February is, I think you can expect KiwiRivals. The name is still in the program, like still in the works, but KiwiRivals Season 2, Episode 1.
Sweet deal. Oh, really appreciate you coming on here, Liam.
Thank you.
It's been awesome having you.
Dude, it's been an amazing time talking to you. Yeah.
That's so good to hear.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Cool. Thanks. Thanks, Liam. Thanks, everyone. See ya. Bye.
See ya.
Tune into KiwiRivals.
Yes, next year.
Next year.
Give us a follow on Instagram.
Definitely
And
follow.
listen to everything with Pascal.
Yes.
All the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, white noise.
Everything, everywhere. Anytime. Go. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
See ya.